can loot up and then push on some of those teams over towards Sunwing, as there it is. Production knows this is going to be one of the most important fights. It is going to be GG trying to pick up. They've already got the Zai, they got the Fireflies, the V2 comes on through. CJS immediately getting to find so much value. The F3 trying to connect as well. Rocket Comet onto the members of OUG.Xx, and it is just an absolute bloodbath coming through right now. Free however has already gone down. The Kurumi not going to be able to find that support, but unfortunately that enclosed space plus the toxic mushrooms just continuing to tank the health bars means that OUG have found out what happens when you challenge the resident MVPL champions on their home turf, and it is a very fast retreat to a Soul Altar for them.
Absolutely. It is. I think that it was actually extremely clever for them to try and challenge this as they were running the Zai. If you get the Zai ultimate online in that enclosed space, it just becomes extremely difficult to do anything whatsoever to counter it. As we all know, Zai is extremely obnoxious to deal with when you have weapons and armor. Imagine when you don't have weapons or armor. It's going to be that much more difficult. But we've gone on over to the northwest of Wreckage Plains here. JL up against XMF. JL having taken the first fight, the first reset, so to speak. XMF forced to teleport away to try and get that reset off, get the resurrection up on their teammate, but we've got the re-engage coming through. JL getting involved, getting in there. VVV forced to use that pillar, now dropping it down, going into the mech. TXJ having been taken down. Xiaowen literally on a pixel of health, tries to use that ice block to stay alive, but unfortunately not able to stay on their feet. But it looks as though XMF are going to be coming out on top of this fight. JL have lost 2 members. Now it's just VVV sat on top of the ship, trying to get as much value out of this Farrier mech as possible, denying that resurrection, buying time for the teammates to come in and try and get back in there. They're getting aggressive. The salty run back, ladies and gentlemen, we're seeing it here. But it looks as though XMF again are going to be able to teleport away. This is with that Wu Chen teleport nerf, so they definitely knew where they teleported to. But I think they've decided not to continue the chase and instead look to loot up in Wreckage, as it has gone completely unlooted. And given that it's a high tier, loot zone is definitely going to be very worthwhile.
I mean, it was smart because that run back actually saved VVV. They knew that XMF would have to Witch and Portal out because XMF burned the Viper ultimate earlier in the fight. And as a result, VVV, despite his 2 players having to use their rebirths, is still going to be holding on to his. Plus, they now chase XMF out of, like you said, a golden loot tier zone. And for a composition that JL are currently running, which is much more loot dependent than XMF, that is the golden goose for them. They want to be able to loot up. They want to be able to have all of those resources to challenge and set themselves up for that first round of Yang, as we're going to see GGG potentially going head-to-head with MVP, who are running that Tessa Viper Wu Chen composition coming on through. GG not quite rising to the fight just yet. She are not going to be able to find the opening until now. Throws out that ultimate, does manage to tether onto 1. CGS going to be utilizing that Zai F3 to get out immediately as the enchantment comes on through, but the Kurumi ultimate will be able to keep that Zai up and intact for now. And as a result, the tide is now going to swing over to GG's side, seeing that Zai ultimate being popped. The Witch and Teleport will be called in. However, remember, not only did they give it a beam, they also knowed the amount of distance that you can cover, and as a result, GG almost immediately are on top of MVP. Hong having to try and distance himself as the rest of his teammates look to find an establishment and keep GG's attention for that teammate to be able to heal. We're going to get the Matari ultimate coming through to reset all of those cooldowns, as well as the fact that the Tessa ultimate is able to catch the V1 connects. As CJS gets an absolutely huge parry, and now it's just going to be a game of numbers. GG managing to turn the tide with that Matari ultimate and all of the healing that it provides, living through that 3-second stun enchantment and just collapsing in on a team that, as we've seen, that Wu Chen teleport nerf, it is so significant in terms of just not allowing you any room to breathe.
Absolutely. I would like to know, though, looking at the leaderboard, the dogs, the boys from EU, currently sitting at the top with 7 eliminations already. Just before that fight took place that we just got to watch, we saw them sitting on 4, but during that fight, they picked up another 3 kills, taking down XMF, I think it was. But now we're heading on over to the desert. HD and JDG scrapping it out. HD having picked themselves up not 1 but 2 Moonbanes. They have 1 Moonbane down on the field now, and I did also note that they had another one ready to go in their inventory, so they are definitely looking to try and fight this out. Although they have already used some of their cooldowns. Chu Tiger still looking to get in there and try and lock them down here. Kiki now using that Yueshan ult preemptively, gonna try and create some space for his team. ZDI taking a lot of damage, uses that block, trying to get out of there, trying to buy some time, taken down extremely low. ZDI, can he make it out of here? Is there an armor swap anywhere nearby? I don't think there is, and Chu Tiger is actually going to be able to take him down with a quick musket shot. Kiki trying his best to buy as much time, buy as much space as possible. Looks as though he's managed to take one of these players down. Chu Tiger is down for the count for the moment. However, the Moonbane, again, as I mentioned before, they had another one in their back pocket. So they're going to be committing that one to try and make sure that they win this fight and come out on top. Especially considering that JDG, if they do go down here, they don't have their rebirths available. So they will be fully eliminated, but it looks as though they are doing extremely well regardless of the Moonbane. Simpson doing a great job of kiting these 2 players out. Still, just barely. Unfortunately, he does get taken down there. He did have his ultimate up, but unfortunately wasn't able to use it in time, and JDG are going to live to fight another day.
Oh, but here's OUG.Xx.
Hex are on the run, it seems. OUG trying to chase them down. Hex have used all of their cooldowns. Are they going to be able to make it out alive?
I mean, XX have at least used a majority of their ultimates. They've only got Rico's mech currently open for business. As we can see, the grapples attempted to come on through. Squeaky going to be throwing out that fan, just trying to keep Zhao just isolated and zoned away so that Taki can start to chase up with those dual halberds. Throws out the charged R&B, huge chance clicks onto the Hardy, and he can't do anything. He can't hit the combo breaker because of the silence, and OUG.Xx have been able to pick up the first one. Hex now looking, Sachiko coming up onto the tree, sets up the scale rush, tries to find the connection. That's Jun also falling to the wayside, and now it's just OUG.Xx's Rico in hot retreat as Hex look to try and push onto this Farrier. Massive silence comes out from Sachiko. That F2 doing so much work. They do let Rico run. They do not want to overcommit. They know that it's open season on the map currently, as we heard the first Realm of Yang and see that it is going to be JLA versus BAODA, but huge plays coming out from the European troop. That puts them up to 9 kills and counting, Zunk. The problem for them is they're on a composition which does well early and then struggles into the mid. As BAODA and GLA now go toe-to-toe. Aramec going to be up for one of the teams, and I believe the other one is on that Siphon. As we can see, it is going to be Jianu coming in with the charge verticals on that fan. However, eats a huge hit of a charged vertical on those dual halberds right to the back. Has to hop into the mech as a result, and it is actually a aero mech mirror as poor Jing can't get into cannon form in time. Jiamu is able to find all of the staggers necessary to keep BAODA's Jing in absolute pieces at the moment. Can't do anything with that Farrier ultimate to save his team. Jing forced to get out of the mech early, otherwise he risks losing his life, and he's being chased down currently by JL's Hattie, who is just trying to lock him down, knowing that he's going to be vulnerable. They will be able to pick him up, and this is now going to be JLA trying to live through the next part of the ultimate circulation. It's going to be BAODA's Peak going down mid Yushan ultimate as well, and it is now just clean up, live through the Hardy ult coming on out. Xiaomu with the bow looking to try and do the damage necessary to ground him, to clip the bird's wings, as that Hardy makes him a little bit harder to nail down. The grapples are coming through, but unfortunately it doesn't stagger Hardy in his ultimate. The ultimate is now gone. This surely is just going to be cleanup right now. The F3 will be able to find the connection, and that is BAODA out for the count. JLA picking themselves up a Realm of Yang win.
Indeed, but we're moving on over to JDG and the other JL team. TXJ takes to the skies trying to chase down this Huddy who's literally 1 HP. TXJ, he's used his cube already. He's used the first ultimate. He's going to have to buy himself some time to get the second one up and running. A huge parry coming out from TXJ, though, being able to buy a little bit more time. But in the meantime, one of his teammates has been taken down, and so does he. Just gets absolutely exploded there. And then VVV in the 1 versus 3, unable to stay on his feet, just getting juggled by JDG. JDG taking their Realm of Yang win, securing themselves a golden hang sword on top of that. We've got 3 Vermilion Bird's Might teams now on the Isle. GG, JDG, and JLA. But at the same time, we have 3 teams with Yang Depletion who are going to be out there hunting to try and get themselves their Yang Depletion cleanse with a Soul Bloom. CJS, GG out here close to Sunwing. I think they have a bounty on a team over here. I'm not sure exactly who it was. I caught a glimpse of him for a moment.
XMF.
But XMF, right. XMF on there. Justina, Xiaowen using that dash. Hong gonna be left to the wolves, it seems. XMF. But GG gonna be jumping in. CJS in the sky. Drops down with the golden pulse sword into the meteor. The F3 trying to come in and do as much damage as possible. Now another F3 is going to be utilized due to the ult activation, but unfortunately not able to get the perfect follow-up, as XMF do immediately disengage with that Wu Chen teleport. Although it's been nerfed, it still is extremely good at what it does. Xiao Wen, though, he is extremely low and hasn't had the chance to heal up just yet. This, I think, is probably the main difference from before. You know, you still get out of there. You still get out of danger, immediate danger, to say the least. But it doesn't really give you the time to get heals off and get a full reset, which I think is a good adjustment. Yeah, or a revive. Yeah, for sure.
Zhaoan. Oh, it looks like he's the sacrificial. Yeah, he's the sacrificial goat. As GG gonna be just collapsing onto him. That was the player that had the bounty on them, as the rest of the players of XMF will split themselves off into the corruption they go, hoping to go unnoticed by the players of GG who are out and hunting to try and figure out where those players have headed off to. BAODA also in the area with 1 minute and 30 seconds and counting on their Yang Depletion. I don't think they saw GG. They have spotted JL, however, so it is going to be an about turn for BAODA's Jing, who tries to come on through with that F3, looking to land that silence. Immediately JL going to be ulting, just trying to get out of there as VVV looking to come on through with that Dragon Slayer's Internesis. Will not be able to find it. TXJ going into the sky, looking to hunt down BAODA's peak. No heal reset for you, my friend. It is just going to be continued pressure, forcing that Yushan ultimate so that TXJ can just widen the distance, and this is horrible for BAODA. Dunk, they have a minute left. They've used the Hardy ultimate, they've used the Yushan ultimate. Jing's got to go into the mech just to try and recover, as he's down to an absolute sliver of health. But unfortunately, even if he finds a kill, he'd have to drop out of the mech to pick up the bloom. And all of this noise, all of these transformation ultimates are so big. If they're not careful and this fight doesn't finish soon, they're going to attract the attention of GG, who are still in the area. BAODA's Jing using the buildings to try and just get a little bit of cover from VVV. However, he is hunted down by TXJ, who just does not give him any relief. Finally, he's able to get into the cannon form and look to stagger VVV. JL also in a very similar situation. They've only got a minute, and if both of these teams aren't careful, they're going to both go down to Yang Depletion. VVV finally reveals the hand of jabbing, looking to try and find some of these hits. BAODA players so incredibly low. Peak goes down, Yiran shortly afterwards, but here comes GG for the third party. JL might have survived, but it might just have delayed the inevitable dunk, because here comes the Xiphon.
Oh my lord, they are in a bit of a... Oh, they're in a sticky situation here. Stuck at the edge of the zone. GG definitely going to be looking to try and hold them there. Unfortunately, it looks as though Deman have gone down to Yang Depletion. I'm not sure if that was the full team, as I only saw 2 of them go down to Yang Depletion. However, we shall wait and see. But for the moment, it looks as though GG has been merciful and left this team to their own devices, let them get into the zone, and have thought to instead look to go shopping, get themselves some loot, and scale up a little bit more, as the Immortal War shop definitely facilitates a lot more scaling than it used to, being able to buy things such as purple armors, gold armors, purple, I mean, you can buy purple jades, you can buy golden jades as well. You can't do what you could do before, where you could just gamble for 2.5k or 3k and just get epic rarity minimum soul jades. Oh no, you're not gonna do it like this, are you, Kiki?
No.
I mean, thing is, although it's so BM, it's actually optimal as hell.
I know.
The slap, it's got such a fast startup time to release it. It means that you can actually use it without it being troll. And it can't be parried. You know, like you can't parry the slap, and it's got quite good tracking. The damage is somewhat negligible.
I cannot believe an April Fool's joke is meta.
I think that's hilarious, though. I love that.
It is so funny.
It started as April Fool's, but now
I remember
it's
we all wanted it. We all wanted it to come to the game, and the developers, they listened. In the meantime, OUG.Xx were actually able to use 2 rebirth charms to get both of their teammates back. So, unfortunately, while they haven't been able to keep their loot, they might not. Oh no, there's no way they go down to Hex again. There's no way they go down to Hex again. Sachiko will go down incredibly quickly. However, that Tester enchantment might have bought Hex the time necessary to use that Wuchen teleport and bring one of their players back. It has indeed. Sachiko has been revived, and he will be trying to keep himself away from OUG.Xx. They are still sitting on that Viper ultimate, as well as Taki getting to come back on through with a Tessa ultimate. But there's a Draco Storm team HD coming into play as well. They picked up a bounty and it went onto Hex's heads. The Justina ultimate gonna make it even harder. Taki gets frozen right up against the cliffs, and Hex are caught between a rock and a hard place. However, Taki might have sacrificed himself to lead HD into OUG.Xx. Do they pursue? Because it did look like Hex's bounty was on Taki, and by giving Taki up, they've allowed the other 2 players to slip away unnoticed.
Indeed, they have the sacrificial lamb, the sacrificial dog. Taki, my boy, has been taken down, but the teammates stay alive. Wuchen and Viper still on their feet, so they might be able to bring back Taki going into this endgame, but for now we'll have to wait. But at the moment, KLA hunting down Xiao Wen. A beautiful jump parry coming out from Cuckoo to finish off Xiao Wen. Unfortunately, nothing he can do there. This is the last remaining member of his team does get eliminated out of this game, out of this lobby. And now we've got 23 players left alive with 11.5 minutes left to go. There is only, I think it's only Hex. So Hex is the only team that's missing a player for the moment. We'll have to see if they can bring him back. But yeah, I think we're going to be going into a bit of a lull period, a bit of a less action, I would expect. You know, every time I say this, though, there's always a fight that breaks out.
Oh, Hex is so split.
Every time. I think it's smart, though.
In case one of them gets a bounty put on them, you don't want to bring mutual destruction down on your team. As it does look like JL and JDG could potentially go toe-to-toe. GG also.
JL is kind of sandwiched.
Yeah, I think JL are prioritizing the Rift dealers so that they can roll for a couple of those Jades. As, like you said, there is a little bit of a lull right now. The teams can see there's only really one team that's missing one of those pieces, and as a result, there's not really a point to going around the outsides of the zone looking for lone wolf stragglers. Instead, it's much better to prepare for the end game, as you don't know what compositions you're going to be up against, whether it's going to be Siphon, whether it's going to be Sand Siphon, or whether it's going to be Aramec or that third-party killer that is the Viper variation. As it is indeed going to be JL and GG both fighting, not for kills, but for control of the dealers, so that they can go shopping and better equip themselves But what is soon to come, LXM gets his hands on Phantom Step, which is definitely going to do him very good, considering we do have Vipers in this lobby, and he will be able to use that one to circumvent the stun when it comes through. So we're getting to see a replay. This is going to be how GG were able to win their Realm of Yang. CJS coming through with the cannon shots, no doubt, just wanting to hit that fire tick. Karumi Teva already being baited out as CJS just continues to come on through, hounding them down with that Zai F3, forcing them outside of that Karumi ultimate so they can't benefit from any of the healing. Activates the ultimate, comes on through with the V2. Massive fire tick now applied, gets another F3 just to keep every single one of these players away from getting to sit and sustain inside that Karumi ultimate. And now that the sustain is gone, the Zai ultimate is still going to be lasting. Jason is incredibly low. CGS does go through the wind wall, will not be able to get the uppercut connection. However, the Zai ultimate, like I said, they might have nerfed the damage, Duncan, but they didn't hit the duration, and that will last an entire Realm of Yang, and CJS will make absolutely mincemeat of every single player who stands against him as a result.
Absolutely. He did an extremely good job of grouping them all up into one spot with that fire wave, the fire chain wave. It does so much. The thing is, I remember when it first came out, it did absurd damage, and then they reduced the damage overall, and it became less popular as a choice. But the CC capability, the ability to pull people in to one spot is invaluable. You know, if you have a teammate with, let's say, a pulse sword, they're able to come in with a double or triple charge pulse sword attack and just absolutely obliterate a few of these players. That's if they're not standing on top of a Karumi circle. But yes, indeed, Sachiko, unfortunately, he has been spotted out. The bounty is on his head, and Sachiko will go down to JDG in a 1 versus 3. Unfortunately, unwinnable situation for him there. But I mean, do think that there is still...
Yeah, they've still got 1, but we did say Hex are running a composition which is very strong at getting kills early on because you just third party all of the fights going through. But it really struggles in the mid game, especially when Realm of Yangs come out, because, I mean, you have a composition that is awful for Realm of Yang. Like, straight up, we can't pull any of our punches. It is absolutely awful at being able to take those Realm of Yang fights, and as a result, you have to hope that you're going to be able to third party some of those fights, but especially with now 3 Realm of Yangs going out and 3 teams being with Yang depletion, a lot of the time, if you want to third party, you actually end up getting 4th and 5th partied, so that way of picking up kills in the mid game just isn't quite as viable as it used to be. And as you saw, Hex were dismantled not just by 1 team, but by the sheer amount of teams who had Yang depletion and picked up bounty scrolls, or the teams that had those Yang wins and had those buffs and picked up bounty scrolls to figure out where a fight was going on, so that they would still be able to hit those players when those buffs were still burning through. However, the amount of kills that they picked up earlier, if they can make it to the top 5, will make for a pretty hefty kill multiplier.
No.
I'm sorry.
As you said it, Squeaky does get taken down.
Since we cast the curse on and on in the Naraka broadcast, I apologize, Hex. Still,
I will say 9 kills, solid performance. You know, they
did really well.
9 kills, definitely nothing to be ashamed of. 9 kills in this kind of environment, you know, really good job for them. But yeah, it is definitely a big shame that they couldn't translate that into some more points with some placement, the multiplier, etc. But they're bound to be happy with it. You know, 9.5 game to start off the day. That's a consistency game. You know, the thing that we talk about all the time, consistency, is just being able to just steadily bring your points up. By having, you don't have to have crazy pop-off games. You know, you don't have to. I remember a series where I can't remember exactly who it was, but there was a team that didn't get a single MVP throughout the entire day, and yet they still came out in first place because they were able to constantly get good games.
Was that XCG?
It may have been. I can't remember.
Because XCG last year were the kings of consistency.
It was definitely this year, I think. It was this year. It was in this spring split. I can't remember which team it was, but there was a series where a team didn't get a single win, and yet they won the tournament for that day. They won the series and came out on top. So it really speaks to how important it is to just have decent games. You don't have to be popping off like crazy to win. You just have to do well consistently throughout, and you will do all right. You might not win, but you'll definitely be up there at the top. But here we are. It's starting to pick up the pace, starting to heat up a little bit. One Fang coming out of that Farrier mech. Chu Tiger took it upon himself to try and use his ultimate, partially try and protect his teammate perhaps. The Justina is extremely low HP. Rethan now trying to heal up in this building, but he's been spotted out by One Fang. He's trying to stop him from getting that reset. A huge slam though coming out onto Rethan. He'd gone over to that building, try and escape the Yueishan, but there's no escape from the general, from the mech pilot. He's trying his best, but is not to be. Hardy is going to be flying in. The TXJ going to be able to finish him off now. But thing is, JL have used quite a few of their cooldowns. They might be in a vulnerable state. One Fang, no armor, trying to stay alive. GG taking it upon themselves to hide inside this building and try and lock it down for themselves. Oh, is that an Aurora burst we see?
There's two.
From
that was JDG. Yes. They've been throwing that out non-stop ever since the transformed units and the zone started to collapse on up, just showing their heckles, making sure that none of these teams can approach them. We are going to have the dome spawning directly over to the northeast side, which is going to mean that all of the ranged projectiles will not connect onto the teams in the middle of it, and as a result, they are going to be safe from TXJ's mech until it falls on through. We've got two teams currently residing, OUG and KLA. Looks like KLA decided to back on off and give it up to OUG.Xx, who will be able to make out like a bandit with that legendary armor. JDG now getting into prime position to put the pressure onto all of these teams below them. GGG still trying to take refuge inside of that building as Tutic continues the suppressing fire, pushing JLA and GG closer and closer to the corruption, making sure that they're pushed outside of those places of sanctuary, that everyone in the lobby can see exactly where they are going to be. As JDG with 11 kills definitely are starting to get in a position, as it is going to be that Aurora burst coming through. KLA now looking to try and meet over with OUG.Xx, not wanting to take the fight but just defend their spot in the center, as GG have also got their hands on an Aurora burst, and now they're showing that they've got it, just throwing it out on cooldown to be able to block all of the range coming on through. JL's One Fang will go down, however, to the cannon shots coming on out from JDG's ZDI, as CJS comes in with a huge F3, finding that fire tick connection onto the ferry inside of the mech, which is going to start melting her health, throwing out the charge protocols on the huge Viper V1. The entire lobby is going to stand still as that just stuns absolutely everybody. VVV is the one able to come through with a kill, as it's going to be GG. CJS losing the fan, immediately getting parried, has to go to the F3, not to try and find a connection onto a player, but putting himself airborne so that his Karumi Free has the time to set up the healing circle, and he can just drop back into it to get the full replenishment on the health bar, as it does look like now JL's VVV is outside of the mech. CGS is using the F3 to try and hunt him down, comes in with the V2, connects onto VVV, but it's JDG who's sniping away with a Ferry F3. CGS now still has the Zai ultimate, burning out, finds those players with their backs towards the corruption, tries to shove them into taking the full hit of the purple damage, as every single player goes airborne until the Zai ultimate is done.
Indeed, that Zai ultimate coming online was so unbelievably impactful in this small enclosed area, being able to just dictate the pace of the skirmish, going in and just unleashing a wave of pain onto the other players. Kiki, speaking of pain, is getting forced into the zone by that cavalry bloom, but he's managed to make it back in. CJS now has gone back to his Aurora burst duties, now trying to lock down these players. The F3 sent to the opposite direction, I think, just to space out a little bit. CJS doing an extremely good job of just keeping tempo in this end zone. GG looking to try and take this game #1 for themselves. 15 kills on JDG, though. They're looking to try and stay alive as long as possible, but I don't think it's going to happen. CJS is going to have that Zai ultimate online yet again, and GG are going to be your first winners, your first MVPs of the day, it seems. Unless of course JDG managed to come out just on top, but no, it is not to be. GG are gonna be taking the cake, ladies and gentlemen. A strong performance coming out from them to start off the day. It gives you 40% damage reduction when just immediately afterwards for, I think it's 3 to 5 seconds. I can't remember the exact number, but a few seconds that'll give you that damage reduction to stay alive if you are getting bursted down. But we are in, ladies and gentlemen, we are in game. JLA, GG have landed very close to each other. CJS, 330 and LXM looting up on their Valda composition. Oh, a little bit of
the jellyfish.
The jellyfish in response as well. LXM getting a taste of his own medicine there. But it looks as though JLA are very happy to fight with these jellyfish being factored in, considering that they have the Kurumi, able to cleanse that poison damage. CJS trying to find the isolated fight onto the Kurumi, but unfortunately does get flanked by the Takeda, is going to be taken down. However, whilst this was happening, GG was able to take down the other member of JLA. Now in the 2 versus 2, 330 unleashing the fist blades onto the Takeda, but the parry's going to be coming through. The 180 parry. He finds LXM on the corner, pushing up against the wall, unfortunately not able to climb up and escape, and JLA are going to be taking those first 3 eliminations off the rip. But looky here, we've got a bit of a scrap going down in Arcadia. OUG.Xx and I think there was another team as well, KLA, all fighting it out here. Taki taking the brunt of a lot of damage from this Yueshan. John X trying to lock him down. Taki just getting bounced around, unable to stay on his feet, but the scale rush coming through to peel. Squeaky keeping him alive. John X now jumping in with that F2. Going to be able to lock down Taki, unable to stay alive, unfortunately, but he's eating a lot of damage in response. KLA looking to get involved. The cube's going to be coming out. He does live on 1 health, but he is being chased down. CXZ is going to be able to claim that elimination for KLA, or rather QGG. Oh, Hex, they're going to be getting the res though. Squeaky, CXZ forces him into stone form. The tether buff coming through, the damage reduction, trying to prevent the heal from coming in. Taki still down for the count. Hex, I'm not sure if they did this deliberately. They chose to... Oh, Sachiko going to be coming in to try and res manually. Squeaky trying to buy some time. The Yueshan are doing so much work. Squeaky needs some help. He's trying his best to stay alive. They do have this purple armor on him, so if they are able to stay on their feet, they are going to be able to take that forward with them. A huge parry coming out from Squeaky. The purple pulsar doing so much damage. CXZ using the F3 to try and peel, to try and buy some time. Taki now on his feet again with that ultimate. And it looks as though we're getting a reset. Holy moly, it's getting...
huge ultimate from Sachiko to be able to give that extra leaf of life to Hex's players. OUG are also back in the mix, by the way. Looks like they used their rebirths. Or rather, no, they didn't. They just disengaged when the third party came on through, and now healed up. They're coming back into the fray as Rico on the outside just keeps additional pressure with that cannon coming through. We talked that Arcadia would be one of those locations which is sought after, and it does look like both teams in these areas are trying to get the kills, but also looking through the buildings to see if they can pick up those Thunder Coins. Taki eats so much damage on the charged vertical of that pulse sword, goes down almost immediately, and it is now going to be Rico with that fan coming on through, keeping up the pressure, goes to the X into the fight, throws out the charged vertical, tries to throw it out, yet again gets parried this time by Sachiko, who will be able to find the counter. Unfortunately for him, he's not going to be able to find the punishment. The combo breaker Wisp Jump has already been utilized. OUG 2 versus 1 will finally take him down. It's just Hex's Sachiko who uses that Kurumi umbrella to get himself a little bit further away? Has he been able to just break out of line of sight, break the ankles in the area? No, OUG surrounds him. They know exactly where he's going to be. The Yushin ultimate comes through from June. Huge focus strike charge up from Rico in the air, drops down directly on his head. And finally, OUG have been able to see the contest done. We don't see their inventories. We don't know how many Thunder Coins they've been able to pick up. However, they will be able to loot them from the bags of any of the players that picked them up previously.
Indeed. And while all of this action was going down, unfortunately, Deman has been fully eliminated from the lobby. Game number 2 with only 1 point to their name. Unfortunately, not able to find their footing just yet, but we all have high hopes, and we hope to see them pick themselves back up going into the 3rd game. But for the moment, we still have the rest of game 2 to go. MVP and JLA very close to each other now. The poison jellyfish coming into play yet again, but JLA with a Moonbane looking to try and lock down MVP. Not able to do so immediately. Shinyun eating a bit of damage there. The Takeda ultimate is online. Shinyun losing all that armor. Hong having no health, but all the damage is just too much. The fan, hey, we know how much damage fan does, ladies and gentlemen. MVP are eating the brunt of it. All of the cooldowns being put down, except for the Kurumi, of course. MVP now forced to try and disengage. Hong trying to grapple away, using that stealth, but the double charge on the nunchucks is... Oh, he's going to read it, and he's going to catch him, and Hong, unfortunately, is going to be taken down, I'd imagine, in this 1v3. And there it is. Also, another thing to note, I did just see that OUG has picked up a bounty onto Hex. Hex, having died in Arcadia, have gone to resurrect themselves over... Where is this? I'm not sure exactly where we are. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah, I do know where we are, but the name escapes me at the moment. I can't remember exactly where it is. It's to the west of Arcadia. It looks as though Hex are not interested in taking this fight, though.
Oh, Mercury?
Trying to make their way... Oh, there is a ballista tower in play.
Yeah, they could potentially kite that way. That's not a ballista tower. That's one of the catapults that you can put yourself in.
Oh, there is a ballista tower.
And they shoot you, but there is a ballista tower around as well. There's also a healing willow that BAODA could potentially connect to if they choose. There are so many bells in Padoria so that you can see what all of your opponents have run off to. As we can see, Realm of Yang is going to be starting to spawn on up. Hex have headed towards Imperium. They are on the gate side, the old gate of Imperium, as it is going to be JLA heading out of that Bane's Breath to try and put pressure onto this Realm of Yang that everyone is heading towards. JLA is going, BAODA's going,
everyone.
GG's going, XMF is going, JLA just going to grief. This is going to be such a good grief for this team.
It's going to be a party.
As they have all of their ultimates intact to be able to try and put pressure on these players and try and stun everybody out as they try and enter that portal, stopping for a little bit. Two shoppers, GG, put themselves on the cliff, figuring out whether or not they want to try and take some of this fight. This is a composition that GG have used to go into Realm of Yangs before. BAODA is going to put a little bit of pressure. LXM going to back on off as a result, doesn't want to get forced into having to burn that ultimate. There's the Realm of Yang. XMF have been able to go through. So too has BAODA.
Oh no, JLA the grief!
JLA didn't manage to grief anybody. LXM comes on through. The F3 gets dropped from the BAODA. JLA down that Takeda, the Hyper Burst carry. He utilizes that Takeda ultimate just to try and shove GG back and live his life a little bit longer.
No.
But the BAODA's team are relentless. As BAODA and OUG.Xx go head to head. Rico already falling, unfortunately. BAODA managing to find the better read. It is an Aeromech team currently on the ropes. June having to go for that Yushin ultimate as well. They're up against a Xiphon composition. And as a result, Axio is going to have to be incredibly careful with how he plays this, putting pressure on that Z-ping. Gets to see whether Mataru comes on through his Yushin ultimate, trying to find the stagger and set it up. Combo breaking now utilized. Hardy trying to run away with the charge. Vertical doesn't manage to get out of the way of the Zai V2 cone coming on through. And Jing is just making his life absolutely miserable at the moment with that pulse sword, locking him down, not allowing him to peel for his teammate. As on the outside, we can see that Hex have been able to actually recover. Not only are they able to recover, they're able to put up enough pressure onto the players of JL that they're forced to reach and teleport out. And Hex are able to actually gain control of the dome and all of the loot residing within VVV. Did look like he went down, had to be teleported out so that One Thing and TXJ were able to find the revive, as they were given a little bit longer of a time frame to be able to set that up, given the fact that Hex was so occupied picking up all of the loot that the dome had dropped.
Indeed, and not only that, but they are going to be picking up the White Tiger's prowess buff alongside all of that loot and giving themselves that full heal and rage replenishment. So they are, I would imagine, looking to go for a fight. However, they will need to be careful, as 3 teams have a million birds might and 3 teams have Yang Depletion. And there we see it, OUG.Xx going onto that catapult into Imperium to try and find themselves a team to cleanse that Yang Depletion. But we do have Hex and BAODA scrapping it out here. Sachiko having lost a lot of his HP, forced to use that ultimate. Now we've got the scrap. Yeran diving in with that Meteor, the F3 from the Zai. Taki using that Yueshan ultimate to try and disrupt this Zai. Yeran just standing there with the golden damage. Zai ultimate going to be doing a lot of damage per second. Squeaky eating a lot of damage there. Knocked back. The third party coming through from XMF. Yeran is... Oh, he's still trying to do as much as he can, but Jing is going to be going down from BAODA. Hex trying to fully disengage. Squeaky is on the run on his own. Yeran is trying to find the kill, trying to find the kill confirmation. It looks as though OUG.Xx has managed to find the kill onto Taki, unfortunately, but it looks as though they are going to be taking down Peak as well. Oh, there it is. There he is, taken down. But with the Vermilion Bird's Might, he is going to be living regardless. It looks as though Hex, unfortunately, this is exactly what I was afraid of. Considering that they do have the White Tiger's prowess, they are going to be able to do quite a bit. But considering that they don't have that second life like the Vermilion Bird's Might teams have, if they do go down, they are dead for good. And that's exactly what happened. They got third-partied, split up by all of these teams, and just absolutely obliterated. All of the teams coming in to Imperium with the Yang Depletion coming in to try and cleanse this debuff. XMF able to come in and pick up a couple kills. OUG.Xx as well. Hex fully eliminated alongside Deman. It looks as though JLA still has 1 member with Yang Depletion. That Takeda did manage to cleanse it, but the Tumult paid the price and was eliminated. So we'll have to see if they can fully cleanse it for the moment. We got so much action here in Imperium. This is why no one comes here, Moxie, because it's just Ape City. Everyone at the planet of the apes, everyone coming in, griefing left, right, and center. And
well, that means it's perfect for the test of Vibrant Witchantians.
It is.
It's third-party haven. It is Celestra 2.0. The third-party potential is so good, so strong. And you can tell that JL have been able to pick up a lot of kills off of the back of this. As a result, they've put themselves up to 6 kills. Is it JDG also sitting on 6 kills? However, it's OUG.Xx with the Aeromech who are currently leading this one. We're about to get another realm of Yang. The question is anyone actually going to be able to take it? As it is now going to be VVV looting up, trying to just find any upgrade that they can. That is one of the problems. Like we said, this composition is very, very strong for third party and very, very good for kills. What it isn't the greatest at is securing really good loot. As we can see that Aeromech is going to be going head-to-head. Both Hardys trying to cut each other off and drop the damage. Everyone's scrapping out over these piles that have now replenished on the Mercury River. As it is going to be OUG and XMF both vying for control of this. SpaceX now charging up that triple charge on the Hardy ultimate. Both Barrier Max now also coming into play. Sharimar does get taken down to Yang depletion as JL, who were also in the area, hoping to try and find a kill. Now coming for the third party. Tessa ultimate will be able to tether onto one. The grapple going to be trying to hold Yandong into place so that the V1 enchantment can connect. The 3-second stagger, all they need is half a second, and he is absolutely decimated. The Viper ultimate now from TXJ to make sure to try and clean up some of these other players in the area, as it is going to be JL's VVV looking to heal up on the outside of that fight. XMF with the Yushin ultimate trying to buy the spacing for the revive to come through, as now the fight gets turned on to JL instead. BVV trying to stay above it, getting the pressure, buying his Wu-Chen the space to set up that ultimate so that they can slip away from the fight. They've seen that there were two teams in the area. They did not want to get caught in the middle, having expended all of their ultimates. And as a result, that timing is absolutely perfect. OUG running parallel currently to JL as GG going to be taking the Realm of Yang fight with the BAODA. We said to expect it. The charge right click on that pulse doing so much work, just melting the armor off of Kiki already. That Zping F has been used to try and sustain. LXM still hasn't used that V2, tries to come in with that charge state. Hitting onto Kiki with the grapple horizontal connection, and they're just hounding him down. CJS making it so hard for him to move around. The BAODA utilizing those efforts has to go for the V2, having come under pressure now from that Zai V2, also going for Spear, looking to just lock down Kiki's movement, allowing CJS to surely finish him off. That Zping holding up an absolute threat finally goes down, jumping to the pole sword. A spear from absolute downtown, connecting onto ZDI, allowing LXM the ability to heal up that armor. And it's just GG now trying to live through them. Atari LXM zoning it away. The Zai ultimate surely going to be running out. Another F3 comes on through. Huge parry comes on out. LXM immediately now turning onto that Zai. The Yushan and the BAODA both taking into a one-on-one. LXM catching the spine with the horizontal swing as Tutik tries to dodge away. And GG. We said to watch out for this composition. We said it was reset central. The amount of health replenishes that this team gets when those ultimates come through is absolute insanity.
That was crazy. That was actually crazy. LXM just going fully sending it with every single blue focus. Just constantly LMB, hold dodge LMB, trying to chase down these players. That's some oogly gaming right there from LXM. Definitely can respect it. Very nicely done from this team. Also, it's kind of nuts that they went into that Yang with 3 blue armors and come out with 1 gold and 2 purples. That's nuts. That's actually crazy. The changes to the Realm of Yang from a little while ago, giving it golden armor in the second Realm of Yang, is just it really helps when you're looking to try and scale up. BAODA also, it looks as though they came out on top in their Realm of Yang, both Jing and the zipping there with that purple armor and the golden armor on top of that as well. GG looking to go and do a little bit of shopping with all that money they've managed to accumulate. JDG with their Yang depletion, it seems. I'm gonna have to try and find some soul blooms. Yeah, back to Imperium. Got Yang depletion, no problem. Go over to Imperium. All of your griefing needs will be met.
Oh, they've got a bounty. They've got a bounty on OUG.
They do indeed. And it looks as though they don't have all of their cooldowns either. Jun and Zhao have both used their ultimates, but they are going to be coming online relatively soon.
Oh, they're going to run into KLA.
Yeah, this is not
JDG are going to chase into OUG, and KLA are hiding right there. They're going to see the fight. But JDG, unfortunately, they have no choice. They just have to full send it. As Tuzik, with those halberds, tries to lock down the Hardy. Gets the send packing with that ultimate coming on through. Gets the zip F to be able to keep the sustain going a little while. Keep an eye on the minimap because you can see KLA patrolling in the area waiting for that right moment to strike because 2Tick just loses all of his armor. The Hardy ultimate doing so much work to zone the Zai. However, 2Tick is still holding on to that V2. Gets hit in the back by the Hang Sword. Rico just doing so much work. Mistimes the parry flash, now has to utilize that V2 and tries to dodge it away from the Yushin ultimate, holds the F3, just uses it not to try and land onto a player but distance himself from the fight so he can set up the fire cone tick, but he is just being absolutely battered. The follow-up, the Yushan stagger into Rico's cannon punishment melts 2Tick. And that is just a Zai that once was there and now is no longer. And KLA now coming in for that first party once all of those ultimates have come through. June going incredibly low. Here comes KLA. QGG announcing his entrance to the fight. Unfortunately, full sends and gets parried. But KLA will still be able to find the recovery. They just needed the health bars to be able to live that little bit of punishment, as Rico in the area might not have been spotted. But unfortunately, that is going to be the end, surely, of one team with Yang Depletion.
Insane. KLA doing a really good job of spacing out, making sure that they weren't considered a threat from the third party, and then coming in at the opportune moment and able to pick up a few eliminations at the end of it all. Now, we do have HD still with Yang Depletion on two of their members. They managed to cleanse it for their Tianhai, but they still have a minute and a half left to cleanse it for their Kurumi and Tumulch. They are sort of like spacing around this fight, looking
they're up against
yeah, this is not looking too good
resets, Dunk. They know they can't take the fight. They've got less than 2 minutes. They cannot commit to GG because if they get a player from GG low, it's just going to be BAODA V2 and Yushin Ultimate. There's nothing they can do. They have to look for a different team.
Oh, they found one as well. Also, one thing that I just, it just came to mind is the fact that because they're running the BAODA composition, it's pretty safe to say you know exactly which team it is. You know, like there aren't that many teams that run the BAODA Cannonball comp. So you know that if you see a BAODA in there, that you're likely going up against GG, an extremely strong team, and you're not looking to take that fight. But they are looking to take the fight onto JLA here. Just an absolute bloodbath. The Kurumi ults, everything being used. Simpson, he does have his ultimate available, but hasn't opted to use it just yet. Rethan and Chu Tiger eating a lot of damage. JL gonna be consolidating onto Rethan. He's unable to stay on his feet, unfortunately, and does get fully eliminated, as he did have Yang Depletion, so he's not gonna be able to get rezzed by his teammates. And now Chu Tiger is also going to be eating a lot of damage. KLA looking to consolidate onto this player, trying to lock him down, and there it is. Chu Tiger is going to be eliminated as well. Now Simpson being met with JL, looking to try and get on top of this lone player. I unfortunately don't think he's going to be making it out of this alive. As you can see, he's just the target of all of these ranged projectiles. Looks to try and go for the armor swap, but overshoots it just a little bit, and he is going to be taken down. The stomp to the face, kicked in the teeth by Cuckoo 2. And
it's
unfortunately...
KLA. It's KLA again. They third party another team with Yang Depletion, and they got all of the kills in that engagement. They got the first one with a bow steal, and then they got the rest of them with just melee. KLA have been timing these absolutely perfectly. They just got like 4 kills off of the back of third party and Yang Depletion team stunk.
Hey, it is a very important thing to consider, you know, like the Yang Depletion situation, as a lot of people call it, when it's that time period in each game where there are teams out there who have Yang Depletion and are desperately looking to try and cleanse it. You know that they're going to be trying to force some fights so that they can do so. And if you have the presence of mind and you don't have Yang Depletion, you don't even have a buff, you can play around the edges of these skirmishes and look to come in at the opportune moment and snipe away some of these limbs. It's extremely difficult to do as well. It's not easy, you know. The idea of third partying as just sort of like cheesy or something like that, it's not the case at all. Like finding the right time to jump in and come out with the most value possible it takes a lot of discipline to know when is the right moment, and a lot of experience to be able to tell when is the best time to do exactly that. It looks as though ZDI managed to find himself a tiny little hidey hole there at the edge of the zone, and he's gone unnoticed.
Yeah, Tutik is also in a similar position, but I think Tutik is just clipping into where the Bane's Breath is. Yeah, there it is! One connects onto him. I don't think anyone saw him. GG, by the way, have 3 legendary soldiers onto 3-3-0 currently. I believe there was an Aurora Burst flash that we saw for a millisecond that came from JL's end. So keep an eye on that one influencing how this next fight goes on. There's JL and JL, there it is. JLA will be scrapping over, however JL come out on top. That Aurora Burst is doing so much work to keep those players isolated, as it looks like JLA decided to cut their losses and send their one player who could potentially carry when the zone collapses. That Takeda with the legendary weapon is going to be the one that they try to choose to live. Unfortunately, he has been spotted by JL. There's the Takeda ultimate.
Oh my lord.
Comes on through, immediately gets parried, gets hit by both of the Viper. And this stagger, he will be able to use the Fury and Shove, but it is going to be futile. And that is going to be both players now that were remaining for JLA taken down by their sibling team. JL will knock them out.
Big brother there. Hey, little bro.
So
thanks for the limbs. Thanks for the points. Hey, we'll see you. But
it's gonna be Xiayun goes down. LTZ has to use the Kurumi ultimate. We're going to see Hong utilize that Matari to try to break away. That dash and the healing off of that ultimate unfortunately goes directly into the path of a Zai V2, which means 50% heal reduction. And DI will finish off MVP's Hong. Poison Splash was attached to the body as JL will immediately gather and pick up all of those resources. GG currently on the low ground, not wanting to paint themselves a target. They know that they have 2 ultimates that's going to buy them the ability to sustain past every single one of these other teams. They do not want people to see that they're on the BAODA composition. If they do, everyone's going to start forcing those ultimates through, not wanting GG to be able to sit on them still. JL going to be now coming on through with that Viper V3, looking to find the connection onto it. Looks like XMF Fusion Ultimate has been forced. TXJ keeps the attention up, making sure that no one can break away from that Tessa V1 until the enchantment has worn out and they're able to pick up another one. Spirit Dome, nice spawns and up. KLA trying to control it. GG also contesting that space. 3-3-0 inside that mech, battering everybody out of it. Projectiles can't connect on the outside, but it can on the end. But the Aurora Burst attempt from JL, the silence connects onto CJS, and he's not able to utilize his ultimate. The Yushan goes down with it up. LXM just is able to hit the V2 and live through it. But JL have immediately taken full control of this lobby. Will GG be able to pick up that Yushan? I don't know. I think they might just have to let him bleed out.
I think so. It's actually crazy. You know, like the buff as well, like this Spirit Well is so high priority going into this end zone, as it not only gives you good loot, but it also gives you a buff. And they've managed to secure themselves a Mystic Might buff going into this end zone that's going to last until the very last seconds. ZDI is just eating a lot of damage. VVV sends the blue, knocks him down. Xiao Wen also in a similar situation, manages to make it back in just for a second, but he too is going to be eliminated. And it looks as though JL are primed to take this game for themselves. BAODA are in a decent spot at the top of this cliff. If they manage to hold on, they might be able to claim victory, but it's going to be difficult going up against this Mystic Might as it gives you so much damage reduction. KLA Cuckoo running around with the Warrior's Pace, and Earthshaker unleashing it onto BAODA's peak. Just gets bounced around. The Ferrier Ultimate is also in play for CXZ. I'm surprised he hasn't dropped down with this Earthshaker. I'm not gonna lie, that would be oogly as hell. but he's decided not to. JL managed to make their way up to the top of the cliff. VVV using that combo breaker. The V1 is going to come through, but I don't think he managed to find any connection there. VVV now being knocked down, super low HP. The cannon shots as well, keeping him down low. And GG, hey, the revenge kill coming in onto VVV. You took my UA-Shun, brother.
LXM is so close to the V2. Dunk, LXM is so close to a VAODA V2 health reset. You might be able to outlive everybody.
Genuinely, although we do have Cuckoo as well, who does have that ultimate online. If he isn't forced to use it up until the last moment, he will be able to get that full health bar reset. And I'm not sure, but we might get a draw coming out between those two players if they manage to stay alive. TXJ does get taken down, though. LXM also in dire straits. The VAODA ultimate, can he get it off? He does indeed manage to pop the ultimate, and here it is. He's still going, still alive, but I think it's not going to be very long-lasting, as Yeran does have that Zai ultimate online. Yeran trying to do as much fire damage as possible to see if he can pick up a few eliminations as they die to the zone, but Cuckoo is not letting him do it so easily, knocking them all into the zone. Yeran, does he survive? He does indeed, and Yeran is gonna come out on top in first place, saving it for the team. I had a feeling. I don't know, I saw BAODA sitting at the top there in, just in good form, chilling, biding their time, not getting involved in all the scraps down below.
I don't think that lets them MVP though. 100% the MVP goes to JL. But if you're mech, then it obscures where you're dashing from, so it's a lot easier to get those double dashes. Yeah, no. Justina V1 has always been incredibly strong, as JLA and BAODA are both now hunting for weapons. BAODA's Yeran has been able to pick themselves up one, and it is going to be a call to action to try and 2 versus 1. The Hardy, who is seen as the bigger threat, Blighter will be called in so that he can break away. Unfortunately, he is caught in the sky, and it is going to be that 2 versus 1 that just lock him down. The F3 should be able to finish him off. There it is. That Zai just doing such a huge chunk of damage. When the resources aren't around, as you can hear the slaps coming on through from BAODA's Peak. No way did they let Peak get this final hit. Jeremy just trying now to win 1 versus 2. Does throw out that charged vertical on the longsword. Now drops the Farrier mech. Yeran not able to play around. Utilizes that V2. Starts to cook through the mech. Cannon form will kick in, pushing the Zai further back. However, it's not going to do any damage as the Karumi F3 attached and then snapped for Yeran to receive that 90% damage reduction, as this Farrier is living, trying to occupy BAODA's team's attention so that the rest of the JLA's team can look to potentially recover, maybe run this back. As you can see that the Farrier mech now gone. Jeremy just stands in position waiting to be sent back to his team as we head over to Empyrean and get to see that GG are into their familiar drop locations. The CJS already coming in through with that Justina V1. Haven't got to see any of the ramifications of it so far, as it looks like GG are just taking to the sky, keeping themselves as aerial as possible to just kite and path around this Yushin ultimate that has come out from the team that they were facing up against.
Indeed, it looks as though Hong is getting chased down by the members of GG. Nowhere to go, unfortunately. The F3 coming out and just absolutely obliterating him. There's nothing you can do at that point. You just got to dodge it. But the thing is, it's very good tracking. It's hard to dodge sometimes. Nonetheless, GG are able to come away with a few eliminations. 3 elims, in fact. JDG up to 4. Speaking of JDG, they just ported out of this situation up against JL, having taken down VVV, but not looking to push the issue as TXJ transforms into that monk. And also, this is a rather spicy comp. I kind of like it. Takeda, Karumi, Tianhai. Definitely a pretty solid composition if you think about it. Not the Tumult, but the Takeda. The scaling potential on this composition is extremely good. Takeda being able to peel extremely well for his teammates and being able to shove people around. It functions extremely well into things such as Zai You can just disrupt the Zai extremely well, similarly to how you can with Yueshan. Yueshan does it slightly better, obviously, as he's able to keep her locked down somewhat, whereas Takeda has a limited number of shoves. But you can follow up more effectively with the Takeda. It definitely can be extremely good. But we're going into a fight here between HD and JDG. TwoTick with a beautiful parry. Rethan eating a lot of damage. The mech being dropped down on top of him to try and keep him alive. And it looks as though ZDI is going to be taken down as well. HD, they were looking not so good in this fight to kick it off, but they've managed to turn it around. Chu Tiger eating a lot of damage, though, trying to kite, trying to go up the tree. PP on the chase, but extremely low HP. It might get taken down here by the mech. No, he doesn't. He makes it into the building. HD doing a really good job of fighting up against JDG, an extremely strong team, as we've seen it time and time again. Simpson narrowly escaping with his life, but TwoTick, he's taking them all on 1 versus 2. Chu Tiger coming in to try and save his teammate, buying him enough time to heal up, and he does exactly that, and TwoTick does eventually go down, and HD are going to be coming out on top. Moving on over, OUG up against BAODA. John with the slaps. My guys, the disrespect. Unparryable slap, OP.
Oh my goodness, it's focus sight all over again, but it's worse because it's not even a Soul Jade.
It's so good. It's actually so good.
Oh, I am not looking forward to that being in all of my games this week. As everyone's just gonna be like, it's optimal! As KLA now looking to face off against XMF QGG with the pistol shots, trying to just chip away a little bit of damage before committing on through. He's not going to make the first move. Instead, Zip is going to make the first move so that he can hit in with the F3 onto these players that have been distracted. Matari Ultimate also comes on through to allow that Siphon to begin from the damage done. QGG gets Furin shoved back now into the Wisp, who has to use the V2 to be able to escape. Now turns onto the Takeda, uses the F3 to keep himself away from the fight a little bit longer to try and find that recovery. One Furin shove is still left for XJ's gang if he decides to want to use it, but he's just taking himself out of the fight. And it does look like here comes Hex for the third party. Hengsword commits on to 17 as to keep him in place for Taki to finish him off. And this is going to be Hex with all of their ultimates and the composition designed for third party, and catching that Yueshan, the cube calls into play to make sure that he's able to break away before Sachiko is able to follow up. And it looks like JLA have been able to see off the threat. Hex not wanting to fight any longer, back off.
Indeed. A nice little third party coming in there with that Tessa ultimate, playing to their team composition strengths. Very nicely done. We're heading on over to JL. We're fighting it out against MVP, but MVP has something up their sleeve. Oh, wait, no, I'm just tripping. I thought I saw the Moonbane aura appear around one of these players, but no, I need to get my eyes checked.
It's the Gundam. It's the Gundam blue effects.
Yeah. Confusing. But JL still on the chase. VVV, you're in a bad spot there, big dog. You don't want to be down on that ice. As some of you may not know, if you stand on that ice in that specific area, you take damage to your health. So if you're ever in that area, don't stand on the ice. It's not that the floor's lava; it's that it's ice, and you will get frostbitten and lose a lot of your health, as we just saw.
Oh no, VVV run it back. He went to the Soul Altar.
Yeah, he's angry. he wants to come back.
He's just running after them menacingly with the transformation, manages to get the Karumi Tower. I mean, they were able to use the spacing to get VVV back with the Soul Altar. I just wonder whether or not it was worth it, as this team is going to be in no position to put themselves into a realm of Yang, and VVV goes down to the zone. They'll be able to revive him, surely, but it's going to be...
go down onto the ice again.
Yeah, one heck of a hassle to try and just recover, because as we talked about, this is a composition that really requires scaling, as Hex on the outsides of Metallic go head-to-head with HD. Riefan gets caught out by that Viper ultimate. Pauses the Hardy ultimate for a little bit of time. Now drops out of it. Grapples away, keeps the pressure up, but Sachiko doing a very good job of peeling to make sure that the Hardy is kept away from his low health teammates. Riefan an absolute
JDG's close
sliver
as well.
of health. JDG also, like you said, coming in for the third party. Riefan denied the charge LMB, the Testa F1 coming on through to make sure that the Hardy cannot find the pickup as Taki puts himself onto one of those ledges, gets a little bit of a reset. Squeaky does have the ultimate, but it looks like Hex want to just disengage the traditional way with grapples and scale rushes as HD and JDG now going head to head inside the corruption. Simpson leading the third party is away, just mountain goading, like you said, his way up all of the different levels of Matab with that Yushan ultimate, making it look as graceful as a prima ballerina. And unfortunately for him, that is where the ballet will end. He will take his final bow, but he has allowed his two teammates to live, as we do have the first of the Realm of Yangs coming on through. OUG.Xx on that Takeda looking for the uppercut confirmation. Huge peel coming on through from the Zip, harassing the Takeda, making sure he cannot manage to find any capitalization. The charged RMB, the overhead slam, he can't move. Finally, he's out of the light stagger lock into the Kurumi armor circle, gets to hit his ultimate, swapping over to the bow to deal damage from the outside, using the Fury and shoves to keep the players isolated. However, Nezha's Might manages to come on through from the spear, just absolutely melting everyone's armor. No more shoves, but the Takeda has done its job, and OUG.Xx will be able to live. But my goodness, poor OUG.Xx had to take his hands off of the keyboard for a good 10 seconds. Huge Kurumi ultimate coming through from Rico to bail him out of that one.
Indeed, he was. It wasn't looking too good for a second there, but he manages to buy enough time to get his ultimate online and unleashes it. But another thing to know, I think Deman actually came out victorious in their Realm of Yang up against JLA. Deman picking themselves up, having not had the best first two games. And speak of the devil, speak of Deman, here they are engaging aggressively onto OUG.Xx. Kuzo using the F3 to space out and to try and reposition there with that Zai ultimate. Now the gold weapon damage for that Zai ultimate going to be doing so much, but this Cavalry Bloom is extremely disruptive. There we have the third F3 coming through with that Matari ultimate, able to reset it, trying to do as much as he can, but the longer this fight goes on, the longer this fight goes, the more time they are giving to potential third parties to come in and get involved. Kuzo now in a bit of a bad spot, trying his best to stay alive, to stay on his feet, but he's being forced down this cliff. Unfortunately, not able to get the full follow-up off of that F3, and there he is. He is going to be taken down by OUG.Xx. Now Jason is going to be eating the Dragon Slayer, but a Hardy ultimate is going to come through to save him. JDG and JLA, I think there's 4 teams here, all stacked on top of each other. Lagwo being caught by the Testa ultimate is going to be forced to use that Yueshan ult to stay alive. Jiamu now going to be eating the brunt of the damage from these golden dual blades from OUG.Xx. He almost has his ultimate back online as well, gets the grab, but disrupted by the Yueshan. Jun trying again to stay alive. It's deja vu from Yang. He's trying his best last few percent. Can he get it online? He does, but unfortunately not able to stay alive, and JLA going to be coming through and obliterating him with that Yueshan ultimate. But unfortunately not able to cleanse the Yang depletion just yet. However, his teammates have been able to do so, so they aren't in as bad a situation as they were before. JDG not looking too good on the loot front. ZDI and PP both with white armor. 2-tick, the only one with purple, manages to do as much as he can. His ZDI trying to buy some time till his ultimate comes up perhaps, but they do have to be careful. The third party could be coming through any minute now, and there it is. They're forced to use that Wuchen ult to disengage, but with the changes, they've been spotted out. OUG now back over to Jun's perspective, having rezzed themselves with their Vermilion Bird's Might. Gonna be coming back in. Now PP is gonna get eliminated, unable to do anything in the face of this Takeda V3. They turn their attention over to XMF, who are trying to lock down the remaining members of JDG. Two-Tick, he's been slowed by the Tumult Sand. The Pocket Sand makes it extremely difficult to move around, especially with this terrain, and XMF are going to be able to pick up that kill, but only cleanse one of their Yang depletions.
And they're still fighting inside the corruption as well. Zedai is going to be coming in with that Viper V3. X-Gang now just, oh, he gets put into the Tumult Wisp. Oh, that's so unfortunate for the Viper. Finally, I think this fight is done. OUG.Xx, very, very smart. They knew that they had that Takeda ultimate online, but there were already 2 teammates down. They just revive and they come back in when everyone else has exhausted themselves. And look at it, 14 kills, Dunk. 14 kills, and we haven't even gotten to the second realm of Yang. This team is on absolute fire currently, as GG now going head-to-head with it. Looks like the stragglers, the last remaining players of HD. They're able to find Simpson, the Yushan, who did so much to try to secure his team's survival into Matab, as OUG are still on the prowl. They've tracked down a straggler from JLA. Now they just have to deal with Akjiao. The grapple comes on through. They're surrounding this poor Hattie. He's gonna be able to break away a little bit longer, but it's not gonna be enough. The repeating crossbow comes through. The crow of the chicken is victorious. And OUG, before we even hit the second realm of Yang, are 3 kills from a 20 bomb.
Indeed they are. I'm not sure what that means in the bottom right there, but there is something going on between XMF and Hex. Looks as though Hex has been in a fight, and 2 of them have been taken down. Taki going down to the zone. It looks as though they're still fighting in the storm. However, they do still have their Wu Chen alive and might be able to make it out of there, but we'll have to wait and see. For the moment, we do have the realm of Yang, OUG, the team that seems to be dominating this lobby, going up against JL. And OUG, they are turbo stacked. Jun with that golden ultimate and those golden dual blades is going to be doing a lot of damage if he's able to get in there at the right time. But the Monk ult is going to be committed now. The Tumult ult also getting utilized. VVV taking a lot of damage, getting caught by the Wisp. The crossbow, is he going to stay alive? He does! Just barely stay alive. The Kurumi ultimate coming in and saving him at the last possible second. TXJ looking for the grabs, trying to find it, but their positioning around this pillar makes it extremely difficult. June, oh, there it is! But the defense buff from the Kurumi is going to keep him alive, and now TXJ coming out of that ultimate. He might be in a bit of trouble. They're going to be focusing him down. Or perhaps not. They turn their attention over to the Takeda and the Kurumi. Jun now coming out of his ultimate, using that F1, going fully onto TXJ, trying to catch him. The bell has been used, pulling out the slaps as well. OUG just getting oogly, as their namesake suggests. The slaps. One thing, he's confused, he's flustered, he gets slapped in the mouth. He can't do anything about it, and OUG take another 3 eliminations under their belt.
Oh my goodness. The slap just reminds me of like the old school duel challenges where you would take a glove and you would slap someone in the cheek to challenge them to a gentleman's duel. There's nothing gentlemanly about what OUG have been doing. Jun with the slap to guarantee the stagger into continuation of those dual blades. And he's got Cavalry Bloom to boot. That is, by the way, OUG with those 3 kills, now atop a 20 bomb. Before we even head to second to last zone, as all of the teams going to be taking a little bit of a lull. Indeed, how can they not see XMF? This is what smart players do. They don't hide inside the invisibility bushes. The problem is the second that someone hits the bell above Salvation Podium, the gig is up. You know that there's a player down there. He just has to hope either that or maybe before he went down that he himself activated the bell so that it would be on its timer and it wouldn't be ringable for any of the teams that were currently trying to chase us. There were bodies, there were Kens over where the Thorny Roller does like to prowl, so that must have been where the last couple of players of XMF unfortunately met their demise, as Deman gonna be just prowling around the area. Looks like they have a bounty out onto GG. They've got Yang Depletion, GG up to their familiar tricks of going to a dealer and rolling for their win condition. Not quite sure what they've been able to pick up, but given the fact that we do have probably a hang sword on one of these players, I would put good money on it being Aurora Burst. OUG.Xx with that staff. No idea if he has jabbing. We'll have to wait and see whether or not he finds a connection with that one, as it does not have a weapon animation, so you don't know if the player has it until you get hit by it, as that is going to be unfortunately XMF. He does not get spotted out. He does go down to the zone tick damage as it moves away from Salvation Podium. Better that than feeding a kill to some of these players in the lobby, however, as it looks like JL 3 minutes on that Yang Depletion now coming through. TXJ with the transformation. Will he be able to find any of the grabs? He was able to find one inside the realm of Yang, wasn't able to find that double, and unfortunately the scenery around Plume just making it so much harder. There is so much cover for these players to be able to just break line of sight away from this monk. As you can see, he's ever so slowly trying to catch up to the fairy neck as it just keeps hopping. The repeating crossbow with Venom Tip attached to it will put pressure. MVP's player finally chased down onto the low. Killable, surely. The bait comes on through, pushing them into taking the fight now against the Hardy. TXJ having to utilize that F1 scale rushes out of the fight, turns around with the hang sword. The Gundam now also coming into play. Mech is dropped as the Yushan looks to just zone and try and outlive some of these players inside that corruption tick, making it as hard as possible for them to be able to take him down. You've seen that JL are taking this fight incredibly desperately. He's cottoned on to the fact that they have Yang Depletion, and as a result, he is going to make it as painful as possible for this Soul Bloom to get picked up. Shion, unfortunately, has to utilize now that F1. The combo breaker comes on through. JL keep chasing him, relentlessly kiting him away from his two other teammates. VVV will be able to finish him off with that fan. That's one Soul Bloom definitely cleansed for the players of JL, but you can see that the Karumi is still orange as Hex have started to pop off. 7 kills and counting as GG get obliterated. 330 falls off screen, followed by LXM, and they're not able to find the revive on time. CGS gets locked onto by OUG.Xx, who must have been the one to take GG down. And the Justina has to use the V1 to dash to the cover of the Ballista and hope that OUG.Xx do not follow. Ballista surely has offered GG's players sanctuary, but OUG.Xx have been offered every single picking, every single kill that they've wanted so far. On Holoroth, they're up to 21 kills, and GG have had to split themselves. The Justino went to the Ballista Tower, and LXM headed over to Snowfields to hide and hope that Hex went past.
It looks as though Hex might be able to pick themselves up. Yet another elimination. There you have it. 8 elims under their belt. An excellent showing coming out from Hex. The EU boys playing extremely well around their win condition here. They did well in the first game with this comp, and now they're playing it again and again. They're doing extremely well. However, instead of getting quite a few kills early on, they're getting most of their kills in the mid to late game, catching players off and playing around that Yang. Oh, this is what happened.
That's why it was red. That's why it was red. Oh, not again. No.
Oh my god. Come on, boys.
Well, you know what they say, Dunk. What goes around comes around and then comes around again.
Oh no.
Squeaky goes down to the Ballista.
And it's the Wu-Chan as well.
It's the Wu-Chan. The dome breaks just in time. OUG are able to take cover under the dome that blocks the projectiles. Don't have to face the Ballista's Wrath until all of the loot has been dropped. GG's LXM has been found by Hex, who was scouting. They saw that when they killed that other player from GG, that the sword in the body did not drop immediately, that there was still the bleed out potential. And just in time, Squeaky gets tapped. Unfortunately, that post has not been abandoned. And Hex, because it was the Wu Chen, do not have the ability to use the Wu Chen wind walls and block the projectiles. As a result, they can't go for the revive. BAODA and OUG.Xx will prevent it as BAODA flashed that win condition. And poor Taki just gets absolutely sniped by the ballista that BAODA have been putting to such devastating use. And that's Aurora Burst as well. Another tool to BAODA's belt.
No, not like this.
Taki trying to get on top of ballista like that.
Not like this.
He was the distraction, Dunk. He was the distraction. The Viper still lives.
Oh, there's a Moonbane. What on earth? And it looks as though OUG coming in to contest the Ballista Tower as well. They don't want BAODA to be having all the fun. They want to get involved. Also, another thing to note is that there's only 11 people alive right now.
Yeah,
and it looks as though
OUG.Xx have been on the tear. Yeah, like I said, he was the distraction. Taki was the distraction. Everyone was looking at the Tessa. The Ballista was looking at the Tessa, and so in comms, they said that it was okay to go for the Wu Chen.
Yeah. But are they going to be able to pick up the third? I don't think that they will. He's
potentially if OUG.Xx and BAODA are able to, but yeah, they might be able to find a revive from one of the dealers.
It's going to be tough, though. OUG, they're looking very, very stacked right now. Triple gold armor. I mean, I'm not surprised considering how many kills they have. It's insane. Actually insane. Are they going to be able to go for the 30 bomb is the question at this point. Not the 20.
They could well.
The 30 bomb.
I think 30 is the maximum amount of kills that we've seen so far in one game of 2024 Naraka, when all of the lobbies have been downsized to 12 teams. And even then, it still surpassed, but like you said, Sachiko gets caught. JL having to take cover underneath Ballista, no one wanting to let OUG have this one for free as Sachiko just has to keep scale rushing around with that hang sword, trying to keep himself out of sight, out of mind. Squeaky is here as well. Everyone is just utilizing this one little bit of Ballista like it's a jungle gym and just continue to go round and round and round until the zone pushes them off of it. Unfortunately, it looks like the zone is going to be directly in the middle of it still. And as a result, no one can really get on top to oust OUG.Xx's position. Not only do they have the ballista control, but BAODA are making it so much harder for anyone to get past them too, just sitting on the second level with that Aurora Burst thrown out on repeat so that no one can potentially challenge this team until everyone is ready to kick off those ultimates. As a result, JL go down to the low ground and hope to snipe someone off of it, waiting to see if someone gets a little bit too overconfident and leans too far away from that tower so that one bow shot can knock them off of the hold of Ballista.
Looks as though Hex has managed to find themselves a little ledge to hang from as they're just sort of going unnoticed, trying to be as inconspicuous as possible. And to be honest, I don't think it's going to be that difficult because BAODA and OUG are continuously scrapping it out to try and maintain high ground in this situation, whilst JL just hopping around, TXJ having the time of his life inside that spirit well, just like, you know, I'm just going to ult, you know, I don't have any issues with this. They're all just vibing. And look at them. They're just popping everything. They don't care. They literally have no care in the world, and the reason being is because when they do secure that spirit well, they get that buff that inherently refreshes their entire ultimate's charge. Oh, TXJ spotted out Hex here. Gonna be diving down onto Squeaky. Squeaky having a tough time of staying on his feet, up against the wall. TXJ with the cavalry bloom, and it's looking pretty cooked, unfortunately, for Squeaky. Not able to do anything whatsoever about this situation. However, did Sachiko make it out alive?
Yeah, he's still up.
Oh, he's still going. He's still kicking. He's trying his best. But again, he's just getting constantly fiended by all of these players. Not only a JL trying to lock him down, but he's eating a lot of range damage from the other side of the zone. Sachiko trying his best to make it across, trying to stay on his feet, but it's going to be a tall order to ask of him to stay alive as a lone Viper in the face of 3 teams, 3-man strong. It's going to be very difficult. Yeran with this cannon just raining fire down upon OUG. Looking pretty stacked with that golden pulse sword, golden armor. All of these players extremely scaled up. Sachiko managed to find himself a little tree, scale rushing up, and he's trying to buy time for these other teams to fight each other, and looks as though that's exactly what's happening. TXJ now using that Tianhai ultimate, jumping in onto BAODA, trying to create some space, trying to get these grabs. Nothing just yet. OUG hiding within their Tumulk ultimate and finding a lonely Sachiko. Unfortunately, just gets caught at the side of the Tumulk ultimate and pushed into the zone by those dual blades. Jing getting grabbed up now, instantly obliterated, beamed down by these crossbows. Jun does have that ultimate online, looking to try and pull out the lawnmower. The cavalry bloom is in effect. Ladies and gentlemen, are we going to see it? JL doing a really good job of disrupting a Jun that now no ultimate left on online. It doesn't have it and just gets absolutely obliterated by this parry. Rico, now the last remaining member of OUG, they need to stay alive. Surely they can stay alive with their 23 kills and get the multiplier. It would be the best possible outcome for this team, but BAODA are making it extremely difficult.
The revive?
The Aurora Burst, the Zai ultimate, VVV forced into the zone. They do get the revive, but unfortunately immediately gets deleted. Yeran, just an absolute terror in this endgame. He's now taken himself up to 10 kills, 11 eliminations, and there you have it. What a game. Holy moly.
Dunk once is like an occurrence, twice is a coincidence. 3 times we've had 3 teams now in all 3 games that we've played so far win the entire round with Aurora Burst. I think it is safe to say that there is one soldier that matters the most in trios, and it is that one. However, no one can take away the fact that OUG.Xx walks away with as many kills as they did. Surely there's a little bit of bitterness that they weren't able to be that last team standing, but my goodness, the amount of kills that they picked up, I'm pretty sure they're past the 40-point mark.
That is Matari in game recently. You know that this comp is all that much better off for it.
Yeah, I think like the fact that Zai just gets as many F4 resets as she does is a huge boon to her, as we can have a look at BAODA going head-to-head with JDG. As we said, this is one of those teams who just pick a team to land on and immediately find that kill. And it looks like JDG are the chosen victims of choice. Makes sense that both of the MBPL players and teams would try to play against each other, as we get the first pass ultimate coming on through that V1 Teva, managing to connect onto these players. Yiran with the slaps, just keeping up the pressure. Tessa F1 now invested. Tutek trying to glide away as ZDI tries to cover for his teammates with that longsword, sending out the charge verticals. Tutek will be able to find the kill with those blue nunchucks. Unfortunately gets parried by BAODA's Jing with that hang sword. Tutek, however, gets the horizontal confirmation and manages to connect onto BAODA's Jing, winning the fight and securing the area for his team. As we're having a fight in Imperium.
We are indeed. It's gonna get spicy. Those of you who played on Padoria, you know what happens if there's a fight that goes down in this area. The red longsword can come into play. We're gonna have to see, will a team finally be able to get their hands on this extreme longsword? Kills are being doled out left and right. Zhao trying his best to stay on his feet here. Huge Dragon Slayer coming through, the Viper ultimate as well. The V3 allowing for the follow-up from that Viper. Deman trying their best to stay alive, but unfortunately Kuzo cannot manage it. Oh, a huge parry coming out from Junks. Holy moly, what a beautiful parry. The 180 jump just obliterating him. Has the portal appeared yet, ladies and gentlemen?
I think OUG are up to 3. No, OUG are up to 4.
4. They need, I think it's 2 more kills.
2 more.
2 more kills and they've got it.
And they'll be the only ones that can enter the portal as well to get that longsword. Xiao just climbs up to obscure, but the third party comes on through. The Moonbane is going to be dropped by XMF. Zhao unfortunately gets caught out by a third party, and Tessa just manages to dip away before that Bane's Breath hits. Unfortunately, he does lose June. Rico also going incredibly low, as it's going to be XJ Gang getting caught out by another Viper ultimate. Manages to find the Takeda grab, gets a huge parry before the V1 enchantment from that Tessa can come through. Everyone from XMF will be able to survive except the Kurumi, who in her last dying breath was able to set up that V2. Triple phase on the side of XMF, connects onto JL, takes down TXJ. XJ Gang gets sent packing, but it is his own Bane's Breath, so the AoE is not there. He will be able to send JL out with the Wu-Chen teleport, and they will be able to find the revive. This is crucial. OUG was so close to getting the portal, but XMF and JL coming for the third party have unfortunately stopped them just before they could summon it, and as a result, no one is able to summon the Red Longsword.
Not yet, at least. We'll have to wait and see, but we're taking a look at a scrap between JLA and GG. CJS coming out of that Yueishan ultimate, extremely low HP. LXM also in a similar situation, stuck on the buttery rocks, not able to disengage, unfortunately. 330 managing to do quite a bit with this Ferrier ultimate, locking down JLA's Zai. The Zai going down, now a 2v2 situation. CJS, low shield, low HP as well, but a beautiful parry coming out into the follow-up from the F3. No ultimate for you, good sir. And GG showing just how versed they are in these kind of fights, doing a really good job. LXM, the call was made for him to resurrect himself, and there it is. GG are going to be coming out on top in this fight, picking up 3 eliminations very early on.
Next to a Firefly cage as well.
Yes, indeed.
So that's going to be a free ultimate for this team. They chose such an ideal location to drop onto, as we can see that KLA, JL are going head to head. That's going to be an early Wu-Chen teleport being utilized. KLA immediately now trying to track down where JL have run. All of these teams still trying to get the kills necessary to summon that portal, wanting the extreme longsword, wanting to be able to get that weapon buff. As 17S tries to take this 1v1 against TXJ, comes in with that fan, goes for the hold check. And as a result, TXJ is able to skirmish his way further. He gets a huge jump parry onto 17S, who does manage to have all of the health just come right back to him with both the Z-Ping F and that Matari ultimate coming into play from CXZ. And KLA will be able to outlive JL. HD also in the area. The question is, KLA on 6 kills, how many of those were in front of the statues?
Do they get
the answer is not enough, because those drums outside have not lit up.
I'm not sure, but I mean, the thing is, there's still time. There is still time for it to happen, but we'll have to wait. We'll just patiently wait for this to happen. We'll see. But in the meantime, we have Deman up against JDG, or at least they're very close to each other. And it looks as though JDG has just wants nothing to do with them. Heading on over to MVP and Hex, scrapping it out. The bounty is onto one of these players. Hong sending out the charged RMB focus with the pulse order. Hex in that Matari ultimate, the F3 from the Zai coming through. Sachiko with a beautiful parry. Hong does have one Furin Blast left to go. There it is. The Wisp is going to come through onto Sachiko, but the peel coming in from Taki with that Zai ultimate is going to be enough to save him. Shinyun does go down, and now Hong is in a 1 versus 3 and is absolutely cooked. There you have it, Hex. Ooh. Okay, all right, okay. He went to full HP and then went back down to 0 in the space of a second. Hex able to pick up 3 eliminations, taking them up to 4. A solid start for them, definitely considering that there was a bounty as well. So they are going to be able to get a little bit of money, cash in, and potentially get themselves some nice loot from the Darktide shop. It looks as though Yeran is not in the best of spots here, though. In a 1 versus 2, he does have a teammate close by, but it looks as though Yeran has just been told, to try and do as much as he can on his own.
Yeah, that one down already.
Yeah, they don't
I think those two players had just made a pact to hide out in Ascended Pool and hope that no one ran near them. It is towards the outer edges of the map, and unfortunately that is one of those locations that everyone likes to just patrol around, as it is not gonna be JL potentially running into Hex, as we have a Realm of Yang spawning on up over by the Mercury River and Cinderfell. GG going to also be rotating south side if they want to take the Realm of Yang themselves. The question is, yeah, no one's around Imperium, which is very interesting given the fact that there is a Realm of Yang right outside Imperium, but no one wants to go for it on the risk that it feeds kills to the players. As Deman coming on in with the Siphon composition. Matari ultimate giving the reset, as well as that Zai V2 just kicking through the fight, doing so much. Kaylee's QGG just getting put in an absolute blender right now in all of the stagger that the Zai is able to set up. They had indeed got the Red Jade. This is a fight going on through, but unfortunately it's gonna pop early. And you can only have it pop once, as that might be enough to swing the tide back into their favor. The Zai ultimate has run out. Damon's Jason does indeed go down. It is now just Kuzo. Massive parry comes on through, and KLA with the Vulpine Essence able to get the necessary Soul Jade, that Mortal Defiance upgrade, and live through the encounter. If X and JL now going head-to-head, Siphon composition versus Viper variation. Wu-Chan teleport going to be called into play. Forbidden Seal activated as well, so that JL chase Hex away from the encounter a little bit longer, is inside a Realm of Yang. JDG and GG face off.
Indeed, in the Realm of Yang, the BAODA pick for LXM. Let's see it, ladies and gents. LXM getting grappled in on the fist blades, but the pole sword, Stoneform, able to keep him on the move, only losing a little bit of that shield, losing a little bit more to ZDI's staff there. The staff LMB's is a little bit dangerous, and there it is. The pillar does come down. ZDI getting taken down extremely low. The Farrier mech in response as well, not going to really allow for much of a reset for ZDI, I don't think, unless he positions himself perfectly behind this pillar. Yes, there it is. He does manage to get one heal off. He's not in immediate danger anymore. Kiki taking a little bit of damage in that Yueshan ultimate, trying to buy a little bit of space for the team 330, using those turret shots to very good effect, doing quite a lot of damage. ZDI still hasn't managed to find a full reset yet. Unfortunately, LXM managed to save his ultimate. The parry comes through, but actually gets saved by the Hardy there. And then the cube does get utilized. Kiki extremely low. The Assault Smolder is going to do lots of work there. Now it's just a 3 versus 1. GG hasn't even committed the BAODA ultimate just yet. They're still... they didn't even really need it up until this point, and now they're just doing it for the sake of it.
I mean, it's 10 seconds left. I think they might need it to get the combination on the Hardy.
Perhaps. You might
if there
be right
is
about
one player that you do not want running around a Realm of Yang 1 versus 3, it is Hardy. He does have combo break. He can just put himself out of your reach. As LXM, like you said, didn't need to utilize the BAODA V2 until that exact moment. GG, XMF, and HD all going to be able to come out on top as JL and Hex going head-to-head immediately. TXJ putting so much damage into Squeaky. Also losing a huge chunk of his health as well. Throws out that F2. Looking to find the connection using that pulse sword, zoning everybody away. JL's VVV in the meantime sets up the Nezhas. And as a result, TXJ is looking to hound down Sachiko. Tessa F1 now has been utilized.
No
TXJ
way.
sets it up. Into the Dragon Slayers, into the Nezhas. The teamwork from JL coordinated like clockwork onto the members of Hex, who unfortunately have absolutely no answer to it. As yet again, TXJ with the drive-by F2 tries to find the silence onto these poor players. That stagger, that horizontal swing of Pulse Sword into stagger lineup for Dragon Slayer's Nezhas was absolutely brutal, and absolutely everything that is so good about JL. When they lost those players from TE, it was a package deal for a reason. Their synergy is unparalleled.
JL being just being the team that they are, such an unbelievably strong team. Hex, unfortunately, not able to come out on top there. The zipping getting pulled away, and then the Viper just consolidating onto them, and then just unfortunately not really able to do anything about it, as the rest of the team was being held up by the remaining members of JL. Still, nonetheless, a good effort coming out from Hex. They still managed to get 4 eliminations for themselves. It is not over just yet. However, this game will likely be a big game for the teams sitting atop the leaderboard, considering that they are that close to match point threshold. Although we definitely will be going to game number 5, as none of these teams got to that match point threshold before this game started. However, we'll have to wait and see. The game is still yet to finish. ZDI doing as much as he can with this staff. LXM eating a lot of chip damage through that stone form. But JDG need to get these soul blooms. GG looking not so good here. CJS does have ultimate available, but I think the play here is for them to die with their buff, try and do as much as they can, and then potentially come back having rebirth close by. Considering that they are at the edge of where the zone is going to be, they might be able to take a fight at the edge of the zone as this team rotates in. But speaking of the zone, we've got OUG and JLA scrapping it out here in the storm. OUG forced to use that Wu-Chen teleport to disengage to resurrect Jun. Looks as though we're going to be going our separate ways, at least for the moment, as JLA are now fighting HD in the storm.
Skygaze Cove. Pretty name, very pretty place, very deadly places. Everybody is going to be running. I love it so much. That lava just absolutely juggling someone into it is so satisfying. As OUG are on the prowl, they are so close, like you said. This one kill is going to cement them hitting that 48 match point eligibility. The question is, can they get it? Lagwa was making it so hard for them, trying to break the ankles and heading into Imperium, but does he manage to make it out? He's gone inside the building. OUG's Zhao is going to try and cut him off at the pass. But BAODA are also in the area and they want to grab the kill too. OUG.Xx cannot tunnel vision on one player. They cannot lose sight of their surroundings because how easily it is for all of these teams in the area to break the ankles. And as a result, they have to give it up. It was within their sights. I mean, surely it's one kill necessary. It's going to be a little bit harder for the likes of BAODA. They're currently 5 points away, but KLA and XMF are going to be going head-to-head inside that realm of Yang. Xiphon composition incredibly strong inside this one. First F3 comes on through, looking to separate and zone. Now the V2 comes into play since you've been able to do just that. Third F3 now hits into play as well. And we're going to see so much damage. However, it is the Zeeping variation versus the Karumi Sand Siphon. And as a result, all of the fire tick from this ultimate has just been continuously cleansed. They can't get any damage for that Karumi F3 Tether that just gives so much damage reduction. And QGG is about to be out of ultimate. The Sand Siphon may well win against the Xiphon composition if KLA aren't careful. OUG.Xx goes down on the outer side, but at the moment inside this realm of Yang, KLA are outside of their burst window. QGG, without any choice, has to go for the slap. Buys enough stagger timing to come in with another F3 to set up those dual halberds and the charged RMB. And we will be able to see a couple of kills come through, surely off of the back of that one. QGG able to find the hit necessary. 17S getting the sustain with that Zeeping F ability. The Scale Rush now coming on through. It's just clean up now for KLA, but it came incredibly close as Xiphon incredibly strong in terms of burst up time, but very, very weak in terms of neutral once all of the ultimates have been removed. Yes, indeed. They're bound to be very happy with that one, able to scale up even more. And it looks as though they're going for the Draco Storm. Very, very aggressive pickup. Very oogly.
Yes, very oogly indeed. You hardly ever see teams opt to go for the Draco Storm after having fought in Yang. However, If a team doesn't fight in Yang and goes uncontested, then you do see the Draco Storm. And that's because the Draco Storm is an extremely powerful buff. However, it doesn't give you your ultimate charge back as the other buffs do. So White Tiger's Prowess, Mystic Might, Vermilion Bird's Might, they all fully regen your ultimate. However, Draco Storm does not. So it's rare to see where a team that wins a Realm of Yang take that buff. But yeah, you said OUG is taken down in the Realm of Yang as Yang depletion. Interestingly enough, I'm not sure who them. Did they go against
JDG? They went against JDG. I thought it was Idlewood, but no. Because when KLA were going head to head, I saw it in the kill feed come through, and I was like, huh, interesting. But no, they lost. And remember as well, like now, it was a couple of patches ago, Soul Blooms got changed. They have timeouts on them, 2-minute timeouts, which means that going into these Realm of Yangs is a lot riskier. And for OUG.Xx, they have 3 minutes to find one player to kill, not to cleanse themselves, but just to get that one kill necessary to get over the 47.5 game score that they currently have and hit MVP eligibility. If they don't get a kill in the next 3 minutes, they have to go at least another game before they can get MVP, and that's why they're opening this cove. They are trying to send a signal flare out to everybody on this map. Hey, there's player presence here. Come fight us, please. We're begging you.
It looks as though JL are going to be answering the call as well, as they are rotating right on over to them. But for the moment, we're going to be taking a look at BAODA up against JDG. Two-tick with that golden fan and golden armor, going to be doing a lot of damage. And speaking of damage, Yeran eats a chunk of it, losing all of his health. And oh my lord! All of his armor and then all of his health almost instantaneously. BAODA just had no chance. Although I will say, I think that was a bit of a blunder coming from BAODA to have their Wu Chen positioned in such a way where Wu Chen is typically the one that you want to die the least. You don't want this guy going down, otherwise you don't get to use that teleport if you need it. And it looks as though it's kind of cooked for BAODA. Definitely a blunder on their part. However, Yeran might be picked up here by Jing.
Gotta hide though. They can't notice him. At least there is another fight going on. JDG has been spotted. The really rough thing is that everyone is fighting here, and I don't think anyone's fighting OUG.Xx. Actually, they are, but they're killing them. OUG.Xx goes down. Reefin's able to pick that one up. And that is a kill that is going to stick. They have the Viper, not the Viper, they have that Wu Chen and they have that Tessa alive, but they both have Yang depletion, and they both haven't been able to find a kill. BAODA are eliminated with 44.9. So close to match point eligibility.
So close.
JDG are 1 point away. OUG.Xx are half a point away, but they only have a minute and 20 seconds. And they don't have any ultimates. They need to hold someone in the
zone, I think. They need to try and play for the zone.
Yeah, but HD, I don't think are going to fight them. It's the really rough thing because they're worried about getting third-partied. HD have 6 kills. They want to convert that into having as much an impact as possible. JDG, on the meantime, might get taken out when they're 1 point away from match point eligibility. BVV takes down Two-tick, and now it's just the Yushan who's left trying to live, and we don't know where he is. OUG.Xx and Rico has been back. Huge match. He gets the kill! He gets the kill! He does what's necessary! OUG.Xx 48.5 points! Rico can die happy. He has done his duty. He has taken one down with him. And OUG.Xx will be MVP eligible in the next game. The question is, will JDG join them, or will that Yushan get spotted out? JL also having 3 of their players alive, 3 points away from getting to that match point eligibility, locking down all of these players. VVV looking to try and come through, uses that Tessa V1, catching onto everybody, locking them down, and allowing the Wu Chen teleport so they can escape the encompassment of that Tumult ultimate, as now they turn their attention onto KLA.
Indeed, teleporting right on into them, although this might be pretty bad for them, as they don't have their ultimates. The Viper ultimate isn't on like 65-70%, but in the face of KLA, who have all 3 ultimates ready to go, they definitely don't want to be taking this fight. If KLA knew that that team didn't have ultimates, they would have gone extremely aggressive on them. But Fortunately, they had no way of knowing that, at least for the side of JL. XMF here, managing to resurrect one of their teammates. Jian Dong does get up from the soul realm, from the spirit realm, has been resurrected. Thankfully for them, it looks as though HD's remaining member did manage to make it out alive as well, but only one man strong is going to be a difficult task to stay alive, as we've seen time and time again this series, where the solo players have had a rough time and not really been able to survive all that long in going into that end game. However, GG looking very happy with themselves right now. They're scaled up. They've only got 6 eliminations, but still, they've been doing a good job today, and they're going to be playing for that end game. But speaking of HD, Simpson, the last remaining member, no armor to his name on that Matari. Fortunately, he is playing Matari, so he does have that mobility at his disposal. However, the zone is pushing in, and it is Storm 4. I don't think he can stay in that zone for very long without getting taken down. It looks as though he's managed to find a moment to heal. XMF have taken it upon themselves to engage onto JLA. Now 3 players with blue armor. Definitely a vulnerable team here in the face of all of these scaled compositions in the vicinity. Simpson, though, has had... he's had a rough one about it. it's pretty rough for him there.
That's so unfortunate, because that was the one kill that potentially JDG's last player could have taken. Because the Yushan is still alive. You can just see him. There he is. He's crouching.
Yeah.
But he's only got blue fist blades. He is not in a good position to be able to try and snipe some of these kills away. Does have a pistol. Has to play inside this purple invisibility bush, which means taking his chances against the Bane's ref as well, in the hopes that no one is going to be looking at him and that he can potentially steal away one of these kills, because all he needs, he's in the exact same situation as OUG.Xx was. He just needs one kill. Will Bane's Breath spare him the AoEs? He's got purple armor. He has at least survivability, and no one currently thinks that anyone is there because of the Bane's Breath going off at this moment. KLA, JLA, and XMF have all cordoned off that location in their minds. They think that no one is there as BVV takes the downtime, activates the tuner. That will probably be passed around the campfire to make sure that everyone from JL has that buff continuing to tick through for them, as GG could potentially run into JDG. KLA looking to try and zone away the Volda team. Absolutely stacked in terms of Soul Jades and Ultimate's Merciless Havoc. The first time that we're getting to see that one, and Aurora Burst as well. This team is absolutely stacked. The question is, what's QGG hiding? Blistering Edge on that pole sword is going to be one thing. JDG, unfortunately, he's just having to stay inside the bush. He manages to make it past the zone. Did he get spotted? VVV just ran right past him. JL heard the heal go through. And that is JDG's team knocked out, half a point away from match point eligibility. But that is the spark that has lit the fuse. And every single team is now scrapping it out because everyone wanted to grab that kill. No one wanting the fight to go on too long, however, as it would have shown mutual destruction for all involved. And as a result, it's back to squirreling a space and stacking a Soul Jade.
That is rough for JDG, being half a point away from match point threshold. That is heartbreaking for them, as now they're going to have to go into the next game, obviously do as well as they can, considering that OUG did manage to get to that threshold. They're going to have to try and do as best they can to deny the MVP away from OUG so that the series does not finish early. We're looking at KLA right now. They are stacked to the teeth. They are they're living their best life. They've got the Aurora Burst, Merciless Havoc,
the Spirit Well.
And the Spirit Well. I mean, no one can, I don't think, at this point. Looking at their team, you see a team with Merciless and Aurora Burst. It's a bit worrying.
Oh, that's a legendary longsword in the back pocket as well.
Is that what do you want to bet that that's Phoenix Blast?
Phoenix, yeah, 100%.
Oh, JLA, oh my... I was about to say, what a beautiful parry, but it's not going to really mean all that much. JL, big brothering their team again, their brother team, their sibling team. Hey, little bro, I'll take that loot. Thank you very much. Unfortunately for JLA, they weren't all that stacked. They had blue armors, and in the face...
that put JL onto MVP eligibility.
True, actually. Yes, indeed. JL able to go on up to 10 eliminations, 48.5. And now it's going to be a matter of which team comes out on top in the following game to see if they can end the series sooner rather than later. CJS taking a lot of damage there, forced to use that Yueshan ultimate now. GG forced to use all of their cooldowns as LXM was taken down. Unfortunately, not able to use his ultimate either. Potentially he got silenced, or potentially just got completely locked down without his combo breaker and not able to utilize it to keep himself alive. But GG, they've done well with two players alive in the past. Let's see if they can do it.
XMF throwing out those legendary halberds, making sure to clear everyone outside of that Karumi ultimate. Gets the tether as well, as KLA are just killing every single person. GG losing another player. CGS is able to find a kill, taking GG's tally up to 7. Can they manage to find another before it's too late? As it is going to be potentially... No! Jiangdong takes CJS down, and GG will fall short. KLA, we said it would be explosive. 17 kills picked up for this team. When we saw the soldiers deck that we had, we were like, yeah, okay, they're gonna take MVP. It's just a matter of how many players they take down with them. But Dunk, it was absolute heartbreak on Fedoria that entire round. 4 teams came within 2 kills of hitting match point eligibility, and KLA just managed to snuff out every single one of those hopes. Actually, third party on that fight if Salvation Podium is still seeing action.
Indeed, let's take a look. Hex immediately contested by OUG there, I think, and KLA on the opposing Ballista. Who's going to be coming out on top? Oh my god, there it is! Hex losing 2 members almost immediately. OUG narrowly avoiding the Ballista there. The last member manages to make it out. Junks, Rico, and the final third teammate able to live. Oh, but as I say that, Rico does get locked down by KLA. 2 kills to their name already. OUG managed to get 1. Hex did not lose all 3 members there. They did keep one of their teammates alive, and it's possible that they might be rezzing them on the podium as KLA has opted to chase down OUG here instead of
JDG.
And JDG, yeah, they're spawning over close to City of Tang. Might be the disruptive factor that prevents the... Yeah.
They saw that KLA were chasing something, and KLA backed off, and as a result, JDG had to collapse in on these 2 remaining players of OUG.Xx. We said that KLA were the team that liked to grief OUG in the regular MPPL season on Salvation Podium, and history has repeated itself. Only this time it's OUG.Xx. Ballista is in play. That's Hex's Squeaky, who's currently manning that one. And as a result, KLA are forced to retreat and give up the aggression that they wanted to show. That was a whisker away from connecting onto QGG. Woo! You have to be a very brave Takeda to play that far and that close to the fire. As JDG, satisfied with the kills that they were able to get onto OUG.Xx, have followed KLA back and could now potentially enter the fray, as JL also showing up to the party, getting a early kill onto Hex's Taki, while underneath, everyone from KLA runs around those walls, figuring out the arrow locations. JDG putting themselves onto the Ballista. JLA dropping the Moonbane, like you said, trying to oust their position from this space. And as a result, JDG are forced indeed to back. The question is, will JLA take the fight against the team that is actually underneath? Well, first of all, they need to actually look to the side to check whether or not the Thorny Roller is moving around, as KLA see the Moonbane, know that there's a fight going down, put their players onto the left side ballista and have QGG scout out to call whether or not it's safe to try the joust of CXZ versus Lao Guao.
The podium is definitely a point of interest, it seems. Just everybody rotating around. Some of these teams, though, doing a really good job with their rotations. Instead of landing on top of it, they land somewhere else at a different point of interest and loot up and then make their way over. Just as we've seen the Moonbane coming in, JLA, they landed somewhere else, got that money, got the Darktide coins, and then rotated over with the Moonbane to be able to try and shut down all the teams in the area. But it looks as though it may have backfired as they overstayed their welcome, and now JLA getting fully engaged on by KLA here. But the thing is, there's another third party, and there's another Moonbane coming in from XMF. XMF had the same idea. KLA looking to try and stay alive, stay on their feet. The Moonbane coming through. QGG getting locked up, unable to get out of there. OUG.Xx coming into the fray on the ballista, having looted up and made their way back, trying it to come in and third party. But it's not going to be easy with this Moonbane in play and the ballistas on the other side of the podium as well. What? It's just carnage.
Can someone finally solve this puzzle?
Yeah,
please?
can someone do it? Yeah.
All you have to do is just run around the walls. Nope, JDG, back. Oh my goodness, no one is getting to leave Salvation Podium with this chest spawned. OUG.Xx Rico. Just trying to just find out the arrow directions. The Kurumi Tether allowing everyone to recover their position.
Hex is fighting.
Hex is indeed fighting MVP, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be sticking on this POV as JDG now turning on to OUG.Xx. All of their ultimates available for the Zython composition. F3-1 comes on out from Tutik. Will he come for the second? No, just uses the Hang Sword and the V2 activation to knock everybody back. Huge! Nezhaz comes on through from OUG. What a absolute cleave onto every single player of JDG. They all stacks up one behind the other. It's like bowling, like Skittles. They fall an absolute strike. And off of the back of that, OUG.Xx claim Salvation Podium, the legendary loot they're in, and 7 kills now attached to their name. A rank that they cannot MVP on, otherwise this day is done, and OUG.Xx walk away with the absolute win. And not only that, they've been able to pick themselves up legendary tool blades off of the back of that chest. If they get Cavalry Bloom, this Takeda is going to be starting up that lawnmower so early.
Very true. One thing I was thinking about earlier and then forgot to follow up on was just the power that Jade like Cavalry Bloom can have. You know, we all know how good this Jade is, but the fact is that it is an epic rarity Soul Jade. Now, in an environment where it's more difficult to get your hands on legendary Soul Jades due to the changes to Immortal War's shop, it means that Jades like this become so impactful, and we saw it earlier. You know, June.X with the Takeda and the Cavalry Bloom and Gold Dual Blades, he ended up with was it 35,000 damage on the Takeda pick in that game, in the previous Holoroth game. You know, it goes to show how powerful those kind of Soul Jades are. But we do have a scrap over here between Hex and JLA. All of the cooldowns have been used. Now the Takeda is being forced out. The Kurumi circles are down. The Tumulk ultimates as well. It's just going back and forth. Wait, okay. The parry comes through, but he turns his attention back on over to Sachiko. Sachiko forced up against the wall, unable to stay standing. Unfortunately, does get taken down. And Squeaky in a similar situation, but he gets a huge parry and manages to get a kill. The parry coming through. Can he get the 1v2 going? Unfortunately, he's just getting juggled by these jump LMBs. It's unable to move. The spear and the hang sword combined, just trapping every single one of those dodges, unable to disengage. Unfortunately for Hex, that is going to be 2 members fully eliminated, at least for the moment. Thankfully, the Tumulk, 1 member, still had that rebirth available and is going to be able to resurrect himself elsewhere and potentially get the rebirth chance to resurrect the rest of the team. Unfortunately for Deman, during all of this action, it seems as though they have been fully eliminated from the lobby in this 5th game, having resurrected, used their rebirths already, taken down, unfortunately for them, not able to find their footing so far today. But we're going to be heading into the realm of Yang. BAODA up against JL. Who's taking this one, Moxie?
Aero mech coming through from JL. going aerial with the pistol, and that fan looking to try and find a drop-down charged vertical before coming on through with that ultimate and setting up the triple charge state. Will he be able to lock a player down? He's found 1 isolation, just absolutely cleaving them away from the team, turning it into a 3 versus 2 before a play even goes down. The disruption on this Hardy has been so good. Yuan forced now to go for that transformation, stomps to try and stagger the Farrier. JL's VVV keeping up the pressure, allowing his 2 teammates to get behind the pillar and line of sight break away from that grab. Yuan now looking to try and find anything else. The transformation's about to drop, has to jump into the fray as a result and do anything that he can to stagger. Tumult ultimate comes into motion as well, and JL just continue to kite round and round until BAODA's power has entirely drained to absolutely nothing. One thing with the Yushin ultimate, now putting the stagger onto BAODA's Pete. The Kurumi tether comes on through Jing, not able to do anything unless it breaks early, and as a result the attention gets turned onto that Kurumi. One Fang and everyone from JL absolutely blitzing BAODA's Jing down, who tries to use the Wisp and throw and stagger anything that he can. One Fang not getting any of the parries onto the focus strikes that Yuan actually connects onto, clanks, and finds the quarterback charge behind Yuan. And we're down to 18 seconds so far. There have been absolutely 0 kills coming through from both of these teams. Peak goes down. Jing and Yuan now the only 2 left. Can they lift the time at 6, 5, 4? Huge tap dodge from Yuan, manages to avoid that to have the ultimate, and as a result, but no,
so close,
so close. 2 seconds remaining, and JL are able to finish it off. TXA breathing a huge sigh of relief, and JL are able to pick themselves up. That legendary staff is on the outside. JLA and OUG.Xx going head-to-head. Both of these teams already having come out the victors inside their realm of Yanks now fighting in the open world for more of these kills. OUG.Xx getting a huge hit of charge vertical damage with these halberds. Back to back into the slap stagger he tries to set up, as it is now going to be the Staccato hounding down. 1 shot left. Gets the Kurumi tether to keep absolutely disrupting every single player from JLA. Lagua unfortunately not able to do anything except try and disengage and live a little bit longer, but OUG.Xx are relentless. OUG.Xx using that focus strike charge to just dodge away from the Wisp grab, and OUG.Xx put themselves on to 13 kills. JLA 14, neck and neck between these 2 teams, but crucially OUG.Xx, having won that fight, still have 114 seconds of the Million Birds Might to keep themselves going as aggressive as they want.
Indeed, it is neck and neck. I saw OUG sitting on 13 kills and I was thinking, this might be cooked already. It might already be over. But then I look down and see JLA on 14 eliminations as well, ahead of the curve by 1 elim. If JLA is able to secure MVP, then we're going to game 6. But OUG, they are definitely they're feeling themselves right now. 13 kills, especially earlier. They had how many kills was it again? Earlier they had 23.
In this match? Yes, 23.
23 eliminations earlier on. If they come even close to that, I don't think there are going to be enough kills left for JLA to even get to match them here. So we'll have to see. But we've got a fight between GG over in this icy area up against BAODA. It looks as though KLA is also waiting in the wings to see if they can come in third party. GG need these kills to cleanse their Yang depletion right now. Jing now popping that ultimate, forced to do so by CJS. The Zai ultimate doing a lot of damage. He does get locked down, but thankfully, because of this pillar, this rock formation, he's able to line of sight Yeran in that Tianhai ultimate and prevent himself from getting grabbed. Looks as though JDG there alongside KLA are also waiting to see who comes out on top, or waiting and buying their time to see if they can come in and third party at an opportune moment. Yeran coming out of that Tianhai ultimate now in a vulnerable position, but it looks as though Jing was the player who does get focused, gets immediately obliterated by KLA. KLA finally coming online, pulling the trigger here. CXZ using that Tumult ultimate. LXM now the focus of their attention. 3 versus 1. LXM unable to stay alive. Does go down to Cuckoo. QGG now taking a lot of damage, forced to use that ultimate, but the F3 from the Zai is going to come in and snipe away that kill. JDG also having pulled the trigger now, looking to third party the third partiers. Hey, that's what I wanted to do, big dog. Two-tick coming in. Yeran getting locked down in the storm, getting frozen for a second there, but Two-tick not able to do all that much damage. HD also looking to get involved as well. Every single team, it seems, is trying to come in
OUG.
here and third party. Yeah,
OUG.Xx and JLA both missing. And this is crucial because right now they're not getting the kills. JDG
That's
are
true,
instead.
but they've already got quite a few.
Yeah, but now it's 20 players left in the lobby, and it's not just a case of JLA and OUG are the only two in discussion for MVP. JDG are also right there alongside them with 8, which can very rapidly grow to double digits with a Xiphon composition, as we can have a look and see what exactly OUG.Xx are doing. I would envision probably going to a shop. Would be my estimate. Yes. I feel like going into a Realm of Yang is such a hefty gamble, because you could potentially get it for free, which would mean great loot upgrade and buff and all, and the ability to go aggressive, or you could end up against JLA, who... Did they just enter? JLA did just enter the Realm of Yang! JL and JLA go head-to-head. OUG.Xx not taking the portal. Instead, actually, they'll get this for free. As JLA and JL now going head-to-head, these two teams absolutely destined to meet each other, it seems, all day. As it is now going to be a Hardy ultimate from TXJ, starting things off immediately. The Takeda from JLA comes in with that ultimate Kurumi healing circle now into the mix as well. A little bit of pressure is immediately going to force that Yushin ultimate to come on through as the Takeda looks to referee with this pulse. So the Furin shoves putting pressure onto this Hardy, forcing the disengagement early on as JL just kite away. One thing looking to find that stagger, gets one of the players low. Huge Furin shove to be able to peel for that low health teammate. Unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. JL's TXJ with the fan will be able to collapse and take advantage of the low health as one thing. Manages to live through the entirety of his ultimate. OUG.Xx still trying to come on through with this pulse of looking to catch on to this. Hardy doesn't manage to find any connection so far. Another ultimate now comes on out, as it is going to be the Temi ultimate as well, making it even harder for JL to put pressure. Jamo has gone for it down. TXJ looking to come in with that next iteration of the Hardy ultimate. So much damage done that he's been able to get it back, and the disruption continues. It's just a 3 versus 1. The F3 comes on through. VVV with the musket shot, the signature finisher from the Farrier main, and JL and OUG.Xx both win their Realm of Yang, but crucially, OUG.Xx got theirs for free, as opposed to JL, who add another 3 kills to their name and take 3 kills away from JLA. OUG.Xx now well within the driver's seat to walk away MVP, as JLA are hit with Yang depletion and have to take a fight almost immediately. OUG.Xx with the Draco Storm looking to put so much pressure with the additional AoE on these players of JDG. They're able to get 1. That's 14 kills now for the Sand Siphon composition. Will they be able to pick up more? That Draco Storm doing such work, just keeping Two-tick locked in for the lightning AoE splash stagger. And as a result, all of the teams in the area that were thinking about third-partying see that buff and just nope.
Yep. Draco Storm is not the kind of buff that you want to be fighting into. You think it's a uphill battle fighting against Mystic Might or White Tiger's Prowess. Try fighting against Draco Storm, which is basically just Storm Stride as a buff plus healing. It's just insane. The disruptive factor that is Draco Storm, whenever this like Thunderbolt comes down and hits you in the AoE, is so unbelievably difficult to fight through. Unless you're able to fully burst a player, you're not going to be winning against Draco Storm. But here we are, JLA up against MVP. They need these kills. They need to cleanse that Yang depletion. The Takeda ult has been popped, as has the Karumi ultimate as well. JLA Takeda does get parried there, unfortunately, slowing it down this fight, but it's not going to be enough. JLA still extremely stacked. MVP, unfortunately, not able to stand tall in the face of this team. Is getting pushed against the sand wall. It is looking pretty cooked for them, unfortunately. Does he get the soul blooming tongue? He does. That was actually very close. It's Yamu.
Ooh, just
not even close, baby. Not even close.
JLA with a very smart rotation. They go out to the edges of the zone where they know some of these teams that aren't quite as stacked are going to be looking to survive unnoticed and pick up a team that isn't quite as upgraded in terms of loot scaling as the likes of OUG.Xx and JL's VVV, who are much more central and looking to take fights against teams of their same strengths. As VVV comes on through with the fist blades, we said keep an eye out. He has been using these weapons and he is putting them to devastating consequence at the moment. Legendary fist blades just getting so much damage out so incredibly quickly. It is an extremely committal weapon, but when you have the likes of One Thing on this Yushin ultimate locking everybody down, VVV gets all of the window to put the damage in. OUG.Xx lose the Karumi, might lose another player right now as JL put the nail in the coffin against the Sand Siphon team. Zhao, incredibly low health, has to try and run away, and he runs right into the waiting arms of JDG.
Do you want to know what else is crazy? Is the fact that JLA has lost 2 members somewhere on the map. JLA only has 1 player left alive. So both of the teams with double-digit kills, except for JDG, of course, OUG.Xx and JLA have lost team members. Junks, can he get this resurrection off? The zone is... he's gonna die. He's gonna die to the zone. I'm calling it now. The corruption, it's fully stacked. He's cooked already. This was the biggest blunder he could have done. The zone is too far. Not like this, bro. No. Both of the players go down. The one that he revived wasn't able to find a heal. Oh no, OUG.Xx knocked out. JLA crucially to mulch lives. And he's able to find a rebirth. He brings this Takeda back from beyond the grave. JLA rise, and we're probably gonna go another game as OUG.Xx so close to the finish line run afoul of JL, who just take absolutely 0 prisoners. Is JL, if they're, because of the kill multiplier, if they come first, and if they kill literally everybody in the lobby, they could come away with MVP. If they get first place placement, because the only team that gets the kill multiplier now is the first place team. If they get, as well as getting all the kills on these players left in the lobby, they may be able to secure the MVP and come out on top, but we'll have to wait and see. JLA's Tamok is in a bit of a tough situation. Lao Guo trying his best to play around his Tamok ultimate, does manage to get that grapple off, and it looks as though he may have found the space and bought enough time for JDG to get into the mix and threaten this engagement from the other team. JL picking up another kill here. There it is. They're going up the lead. Nine eliminations.
That's why JLA were able to distract. Spirit Well spawned and everyone's attention was drawn by the shiny, but this tumult is on thin ice right now. Has anyone spotted him? No, because everyone's looking at the loot. Everyone's looking at JDG. And as a result, the tumult...
spotted him. He's taking him down.
Oh, yeah. JDG spotted him. They chased him into the corruption tick damage. And ZDI with the Matari able to hit that and just managed to smack down the tumult before he's able to break away. We said Matari's new rework was incredibly strong for the chase down. And that is...
Oh no, the last remaining member of JLA also gets taken down.
It is now between JDG, JL, and HD, and there are 9 players left in the lobby. And it's just gonna be surely... Oh, the Bane's ref as well is in such an inconvenient position. At the moment, JL are just waiting on the outskirts for anyone who's trying to just live unnoticed in the hopes of being able to maybe kill a couple of low targets. They're on full patrol mode right now.
Yeah, no, the thing is, if they do get every kill, so they're on 9 right now. If they get 6 kills, then they do take it. They take MVP. Because right now their main the main team that's contesting them is OUG.Xx with their what was it 16 kills, I think it was.
Yeah, and but JDG are also in the discussion as well, because JDG also have a lot of kills to their name. They they have 12.
But they're not in match point threshold.
I believe no, they fell ever so slightly short, 0.5.
Imagine
in the previous game. Oh, devastating. But they can still be the undoing. They can still guarantee there's the legendary fist blades. Soul Jade, if you have a focus attack, you just get scooped right in to that one. Keep an eye for that. There it is. Confirmation. You had 12 kills to JDG, 9 to JL, and 4 to HD. If JDG or JL get all of the kills in the lobby, potentially they can MVP. And JL are definitely in a very good composition to do it, but so too are JDG. Because both of these teams are incredibly strong in final zone claps. Unfortunately for JL, they've got the Hardy, they've got Aeromech. So if JDG have the Matari ultimate when TXJ goes aerial and he gets backstabbed, his wings are immediately going to be clipped. Both of these teams are going to want for that zone to properly collapse so they can gather everybody together and absolutely steamroll them with the Hardy knockback and that Zai scoop ability with the V2. You want everyone to be in that cone of damage.
Look at where they are.
I'm not sure if anyone has spotted HD. Like you said, they're all the way above. Mortals on the ground, HD reigning above all currently. How does this play out? Because JDG, not only do they have the Xiphon, they have the legendary Soul Jade for those knuckles. Which means if anyone tries to play anything of a focus attack like Cavalry Bloom to shove everyone outside of the zone, they just get sucked into the vortex and spat right out.
Yeah, JL the strategy here was that VVV put down that mech very, very early so that VVV could stack up some rage whilst it was down on the ground. So now they have more than 50% on VVV's cooldown for that ultimate. So they're gonna be able to use the mech again. But the thing is, even though that was the case, it doesn't matter because they got the buff. They've got Mystic Might, and they put themselves in the best possible position to take this game and take the MVP. They just need to get the kills onto both of these teams. I'm not sure if they need literally every single one, but I think they do.
No, they haven't. No, VVV went aerial to contest JDG. I don't think any of these teams know that HD are above them. Which is crazy because...
I think JDG do.
Yeah, JDG do. I'm not sure if JL do. There's VVV dropping that Farrier mech as Kiki just continues to throw out that legendary soldier in warning. HD now forced to drop down and contest the same half of the rooftop. that JDG are on, and JL from the low ground are just hitting them with cannon fire. Flame Breath and Rupture Gale is ripping through every single player's health bar. They can't take cover behind the wall because the AoE still hits them.
Oh no, JDG, they
cooked.
need to get out of there.
It's so cooked.
JL
If JL
need to get these kills though.
hell. They need to get the kills, like you said. JDG's 2-tick utilizing that Zai free to reposition. So far, no kill has come through, but JDG are in dire straits currently. JL tries to do everything they can to force these ultimates, keep the pressure, make sure that they can control with the Yushan health reset to hit that MVP. The first kill comes up, but it's HD! ZDI for HD! 2-tick is able to find the kill onto HD's other teammate, and JL, they did so much, they positioned so perfectly, but they weren't able to capitalize. MVP is slipping through their fingers, so too is the trophy.
Indeed it is. Rethan does go down to JL, so JL does pick up another kill, but is it going to be enough? I don't know. Will they get all the rest of these kills? They're definitely in the position to do so. 2-tick takes to the skies with that F3, trying his best to get out of danger, but I'm not sure if he's going to be able to. The Mortal Defiance does keep him alive for just a little bit longer, but the Hardy is going to force him into zone. BVV going over to get that Soul Bloom to try and get a little bit more rage. Just min-maxing as much as possible. Simpson did he get resurrected? I'm not sure if he was the one who went down, but he is on his feet at the moment. But Kiki is gonna take him down regardless, and now Kiki, he's met with the face of JL, forcing him into the zone, and he's just going to run into the storm and die. I'm not sure if it was enough. Was it enough for JL to take home the bag? Did the kill multiplier? They're not sure. They're watching the screens. They're looking to see if they get the MVP.
The chairs are turning. They're like, can we go? Can we go grab the trophy? Or do we play another game? Everyone is waiting. OUG.Xx is waiting. JLA are waiting. GG are waiting. JDG are waiting to see whether
JLA get the MVP.
Hang up very, very quickly, as it will be an absolute free-for-all. We'll be starting off with JL and GG in Shadow Jade as all of these teams go inside those tunnels and look to loot up as quickly as possible. In the meantime, BAODA and HD have already met hands, and Jing has come out on top. BAODA getting another one onto HD Simpson. That's the cluster of all of those 5 teams gathered in one spot, and this is the fight that's currently breaking out. Ballista in control of JDG. ZDI and Kiki going incredibly low, however, as 2-tick decided to prioritize the Ballista control, runs out of repair kits since it's so early in the game, will not be able to keep the shots going as a result. And JLA, who picked up the loot, are now in a much better position. Unfortunately, Shamu gets caught out by that Tumult Twist. Comes on, throws out the sustain to his teammates, charges up the horizontal, gets the cleave to connect onto the stack of players in front of him, and will be able to bail his teammates out as a result. Longsword and Z-Ping or Karumi, that is weapon identity in a nutshell for Trios. As over towards Shadow Jade, we can still see whether or not KLA, GG, and JL are trying to take this fight, or if they're all branching out until they find better loot, as it looks like KLA and JL have decided it is open season on each other and go for the full committal. QGG throws out the focus strike, ends up getting parried. Will be able to pick himself up. The staff gets knocked off of the glider and goes incredibly low, goes down. As JL's BVV will be able to find the hit, but he's just got to be happy with that. As KLA's Cuckoo with that pole sword cleaves through 2 players. CXE now with the F3 finds the silence onto JL's One Fang. And that is KLA cleaning up and walking away with a lot of kills in the opening moments.
Yes, indeed. KLA doing well, I mean, I think they're the only team, or they're the only match point threshold team right now who's managed to get a decent number of kills. The rest of them haven't managed to do so. BAODA has now reached match point threshold, but because they weren't in it before this game started, they are going to have to wait until next game if we do in fact go to a game number 7. Taking a look here, BAODA on 4, KLA on 3, Deman on 4, but unfortunately they did get taken down and forced to resurrect elsewhere. XMF also been taken down with 1 kill, JLA on 1, JL, OUG on 1 each. JDG haven't managed to find a kill just yet. Speaking of JDG, making their way over to Eventide Temple, I think perhaps instead of going for the... Oh no, wait, they did hot drop and they did get taken down, but didn't manage to find any kills, unfortunately. So they are forced to go and loot up in the edges of the map. Eventide Temple, high-tier loot zone. Definitely gonna help them get their way back into this game. But
KL have had such a rough start. KLA got a bounty on their last remaining player.
Yeah.
TXA is just having to run them into a wild goose chase. He is on the Matari, and unfortunately for him, he's gonna get hounded down. VVV and One Thing have taken the opportunity since TXA has led KLA far enough away to go for the revive, but like you said, TXA is in the similar position. He must just have gotten the bounty on him after coming off of that Soul Altar, and this could be it for JL's Matari. Uses the ultimate, tries to find the F2, will keep himself just dashing away. He's doing an admirable job kiting KLA further and further and further. Might be able to take 1 down with him with that hang sword. Puts himself into the building, actually commits the focus strike. He's not pulling any of his punches. He's using his movement and the hang sword focus strikes to just keep distancing himself so that the F2 has the time to reset. And KLA are forced to have to wait. He goes for what a good skirmish out of the building, gets another F2, and he's gone. And crucially, he's lived long enough for another team to show up. HD is in the area. They're looking to third party onto KLA. Can the Matari live long enough? He got the armor swap, like you said, and he's done it. TXJ with the F2.
No way.
He breaks away, and HD get the kills onto KLA instead.
That's insane.
Oh, but now he has to outrun HD. HD think that JL's TXJ is a KLA player. One of the KLA players hid in the building and crouched underneath the windowsill. So HD turned onto the Matari thinking it was the KLA player that they just killed.
That's insane. But what a performance coming out from him. Holy, that's insane. To be able to live for that long and do that much damage as well to KLA. Insane. Actually insane. KLA having their game sort of shut down at this point now. 2 members of that team forced to resurrect elsewhere. That's rough. That's rough. There's no other way to put it. Genuinely. Holy moly. Oh, I have no words. Genuinely. The hold checking was impeccable from TXJ there. Just, he was definitely in their heads. Perhaps KLA was in their own heads, considering that they could have... They were just sort of running into him one by one, or...
Yeah, they could just have had one person flash red, and then one person actually, you know, try to capitalize on the hold check, given the fact that there were multiple of them and just the one Matari. But they didn't even really try to go for the positioning of one person in front, one person behind, so that if the parry comes through, they can't parry both of you from the same direction, or rather from the 2 directions. As we're going to see a replay. This is OUG versus JDG, as OUG.Xx uses that Matari F2 to just get right out of the center of that Tumult ultimate. Comes on through with the hang, so goes for the crouch cancel. Flashes the red, unfortunately doesn't find the timing in time, but he's doing such a good job of distracting all of these players so that no one is looking at the actual carry, which is that Zai with the V2. Huge F2 connects, gathers everyone from JDG into the one space, so the fire cone just blitzes through every single one of them. OUG.Xx showing really good synergy and coordination to just herd them like sheepdogs into that one confined space. Everyone looks at the Matari, and just the Zai gets away with murder quite literally unnoticed.
Yeah, that was very nicely done. The spacing coming out from Jun as well, that was at the very edge of the Tumult wall to be able to space perfectly so that he doesn't get hit, or he doesn't go into the sand wall and slow himself and stagger himself, was very, very nice to see. Very nice discipline there coming out from the Matari. Taking a look at the map right now, we have JLA and HD down in the south around this this Realm of Yang portal. XMF looking to make their way down, it seems. I think they're probably going to be looking to get into the Realm of Yang from there. I think there was a Deman player still alive in that area. JL in the zone here, looking to try and loot up, having been forced to res. TXJ did get resurrected though. He did go, as we saw, he did get taken down after he'd been he managed to lead KLA away and stay alive for that long. He did get taken down with no res, but they have found the rebirth charm for him, and he is back on his feet. And it looks as though Hex has taken a fight against KLA and managed to take down QGG, forcing out the Tuishan ultimate as well. We're going to be going into the realm of Yang. GG up against JLA. They need these. GG needs this realm of Yang win. They have no elimination so far. This would be the fight, the realm of Yang that they need to try and secure their MVP, as they are in contention here. CJS getting juggled a little bit, but not fully. The Matari does use that ultimate there. The Zai not able to use the ultimate in time. The Kurumi ult doesn't come in time either. And JLA looking as though they're going to fall to the hands of GG. That's exactly what GG needed to get the ball rolling for themselves.
Especially because OUG.Xx are also inside a realm of Yang against a Viper team. Now that is very interesting. This HD looks to try and capitalize. Unfortunately, the Viper ultimate does not find value inside the realm of Yang. Those 4 pillars making it so easy to cut line of sight. And that Zai ultimate is still burning through, quite literally melting these players' health bars. As Jaro is able to find the uppercut extension onto Simpson, and now it's just clean up F3 into the repeating crossbow, just keeping poor Ethan in that spacing so that OUG.Xx's players are able to take him down. That is another 3 kills now picked up for the Xiphon composition, and Vermilion Birds might as well surely is the buff that they opt for so that they can go as aggressive as they want. There we go. For a second I was like, they did pick it up, right? But no, they absolutely did. As it is going to be GG going head-to-head against MVP. Are we going to get to see this Sand Siphon composition able to weather the storm? Which and teleport is already forced, but that blue beam immediately giving the position away. Elixon was the only one that utilized his ultimate, as well as GG saw the Wuchen, knew that they would have to take this fight in 2 stages, force the teleport out, then go in for the actual kills themselves, and as a result they sit on the Kurumi ultimate for sustain and the Takeda ultimate for aggression if they even need to use it. There's the Yodo. This is the V3 that MVP Shayun locks in with. As GG now do opt to utilize that Takeda ultimate. However, CGS does get hit by the silence, will not be able to use his abilities until that one has worn through. Now utilizes one of those shoves, turning onto MVP's Hong, catching with the uppercut, managing to keep a track of where the Viper was headed off to. Another shove is now expended. Takeda ultimate, one on out. Shayun tries to turn that shot vertical off the pole sword, but unfortunately there are just so many players of GG surrounding the Yodo, and Shayun will go down. F1 is not, unfortunately, a combo breaker. Very good engagement tool, not so great when you're under a fight against 3 other players.
Yes, indeed. Unless I mean, the nigh impossible situation where all 3 players don't have combo breakers up, and the Yoto manages to get the F1 into the F1 combo. You know, it's the dream of every F1 Yoto enjoyer, but it is a rare occurrence to say the least.
Can confirm.
Yes, indeed. Another rare occurrence, I will say, is JL here with 3 blue armors and not a single... Oh, no, wait, 1 kill to their name. Only 1. Hiding at the edge of the zone, slowly making their way in, having not had a good early game. Definitely a rare sight as JL has been one of the strongest teams for a very long time now. We got a fight between JLA and HD. This is a Chu Tiger forced to use that Viper ultimate to prevent himself from getting taken down by the Zai. But Simpson, he's trying his... Ooh! He managed to peel effectively. Xiaomu has been taken down. I got confused as to who died. But JLL Xiaomu has been taken down. It's now a 2 versus 3. Rifan going in with the dual blades. Chu Tiger actually getting saved by the tree. I think they're not able to get the follow-up from that Zai F3, unfortunately for them. But Chu Tiger taking to the sky, grappling away. It's now a 3 versus 1, but they're extremely low on HP right now. They have to play this smart. They have to buy time for the team to heal up, and there it is. Simpson gets the parry. It's looking pretty dire for this player, and JLA is going to be fully eliminated from the lobby, as well as not being able to get to the match point threshold. So if it does go to game 7, they're in for a rough ride. They'd have, if we do go to game 7, they're gonna have to get another chunk of points and then get MVP in game number 8 if we even get there.
Oh, the jump horizontals on the staff, just managing to melt. That is peak. And I mean, all of the teams that normally do incredibly well are actually suffering a fair bit, and you really can see fatigue that has followed up from that last map that we played. KLA have one player hiding in an invisibility bush. They've got one player that they're going to have to try and find a revive charm for. Looks like they might have been able... Yeah, all 3 players of KLA are currently moving around the map. OUG.Xx also not off to the greatest of starts for them, as to JL right now. VVV trying to just keep away from OUG.Xx, who have the legendary, I believe that's Fist Blades, coming on through for one of their players.
They also have Aurora Burst.
They also have Aurora Burst somehow this early on, which is why this team is going to prioritize looking for Spirit Well captures rather than those Realm of Yanks where you potentially can be third party. It is there. It is Aurora Burst. Comes on out. HD looking for the third party. Might think better off it. Yes, now it is just going to be Aurora Burst on repeat into the juggle. There's nothing that JL can do once you get hit by that silence. Zhao now coming in with both the Matari ultimate and the Zai ultimate, having to contest against the other team that showed on up as VVV. Looks to try and find the distance away from him, unfortunately. June.X just able to follow him up. However, huge drop down Viper ultimate comes out from HD and catches KLA unaware. Chu Tiger with that fan now gets the Matari ultimate to reset into another F2. And HD with the Viper Justina Matari surprise attack on Spiritwell. Absolutely decimated.
That's insane. It's just going back and forth, people coming in, sniping these teams unawares. And but we're gonna go over to a Realm of Yang, a traditional 3 versus 3 XMF up against GG. CJS doing work with this spear, and it looks as though GG is definitely in the driver's seat right now. Although CJS sending out that blue focus does get parried by the Karumi. They're going back and forth now. Xiao Wen with that F3 buff from the Karumi. CJS locked up by the Wisp, but does get knocked out. Manages to get that ultimate off and potentially get a full reset. CJS goes for the heal. Still has 4 Pure and Blast. Oh, almost gets bursted down there. Quick on the trigger with that Takeda ultimate. Able to stay alive for just a bit longer now. XJ Gang coming in from the back, trying to get the flank with that Takeda ultimate, but committing a lot of these Pure and Blast to try and do it. But CJS is going to be taken down, and XMF are looking as though they're going to be coming out on top, and there it is. GG were looking as though they were going to take it home, but XMF say no, sir. We are taking this Realm of Yang.
Oh, Kaylee, no. They've been spicy. Spotted. They've been found by JL, who I think got a bounty. Actually, it's One Thing who has a bounty on him, as the Karumi has to try and draw distance away. Has the tether out, is giving all of the damage reduction to poor VVV, who's trying to survive as long as he can. One Thing comes on through with that pole sword from the rooftop, leads into VVV getting the pickup of the fan. But the third party from Deman comes on out. The Tessa V1 unexpected. catches the backs of JL and KLA. VVV with the fire tick is gonna try and live as long as he possibly can, but he gets grapple locked onto. Just tries to keep himself out, charges up the golden frame focus, but the F3 from Potato is going to cook him. And now it's GG with the Yang depletion, having to go head-to-head with HD. Karumi ultimate immediately going to be dropped aggressively as the Viper comes on out. Are they going to be able to find the stun connection? Yes, they absolutely are, into the Justina freeze follow-up. CGS losing so much of his armor, unfortunately, and the Karumi ultimate has just worn out. We've been getting that Justina combo break with the F ability. Takeda goes down to the fan. It's falling apart for GG. Shu Tiger dodges the Whisper Knight by the Tumult. Frio now having to go toe-to-toe with Shu Tiger, just hits him with the whole check into light attack, into gust follow-up. And Frio is taken down. HD now just have to deal with one more player, LXM, on the ropes and trying to climb the trees to keep himself alive as long as possible. Hits into the stone pond with the pulse ult, but he will be taken down. And HD are on an absolute terror on the other side of the map. OUG.Xx and Hex go head-to-head. Zhao with that Zai V2 looks to try and push Hex's players far enough away that the F3 connection can deal all of the stagger necessary to follow up with the vertical when Taki is stuck in light stagger. And that's going to be surely Hex taken down. OUG.Xx on 11 kills, XMF on 10, and HD also vying for that MVP position on 12. We've got another nail-biter of a finish to look forward to, Duncan. This final zone is going to be explosive.
It really is, but are we going to get to the final zone as none of these teams look like they want to slow down? We've got XMF getting extremely aggressive here, throwing out those fan focuses. The Viper ult does come out, slowing down the aggression, but not for long. They are jumping right on in. The Karumi ultimate's in play, but it's not going to be enough. XMF are going to be taking down HD. And it's just a matter of time at this point. It's just a formality. Unfortunately, in the 1 versus 3, there's nothing you can do. XMF picking up another 3 eliminations. And there we have it. We have 3 full teams, and then BAODA with only 1 member left alive. And who knows for how much longer that's going to last, considering that they're, Ooh, wait a second. No, I thought it was BAODA, but no. It's Deman against OUG. If OUG win this, I'm pretty sure it's over. But it's looking not so good for them. The Tessa Ultimate and the Aurora Burst. But the Aurora Burst is buying them some time. And Deman are getting cooked. The Wu-Chen Ultimate is there to save him. But the burn damage is going to eliminate him after the teleport comes through. They're not going to be able to get the res off either. OUG, they're looking to go full throttle. They're not letting this go. BAODA is waiting in the wings, but they're a man down. I don't think they can even think of trying to contest this. And OUG are going to take down Deman, all but cementing their victory. XMF do have 13 eliminations. They could potentially deny the MVP. But, oh my lord, is OUG feeling themselves right now? They are extremely stacked.
They've got Aurora Burst, which is the one legendary sorted, but as we've seen, it's the only one necessary. Here comes XMF. Here comes the fight to decide it. Zhao gets hit into the ropes. Takes so much damage in terms of the armor. Gets the F3 to start ticking down. The fire tick doing so much damage. Tumult ultimate comes on through Takeda.
No, the zipping's dead.
Down. This goes down. Zhao incredibly low, gets stuck inside the wind, has to now go for the reset. Karumi Teva comes on through as OUG's Jun tries to do anything that he can with those legendary fist blades, buying his team the space to try and find the revive. Zhao Wen takes down Jun with the fist blades. The Karumi V2 allowing XMF to recover, and we go another game. 16 kills picked up for XMF. They outlive OUG, who also picked up 16 kills. And now it's just a game of chase, as poor BAODA have 2 players left. And I think they know that it's just into the zone we go. Into the next game, into the next round. as XMF look to try and lock down. They do not know if they're going to be able to walk away with MVP. They know that every single kill matters right now to keep this game going for them. Xiao Wen goes to the outside foresight. The Wisps looks to lock down the player from BAODA. Peak has the Kurumi ultimate and the Cavalry Bloom. He might take one down. The Tumultuous going incredibly low to the Corruption Tick damage. He will fall as BAODA's Peak and XJ Gang now go head to head. The Takeda gets stuck in the uppercut. Peak able to find the full transfer, but unfortunately for him, it's not enough. We go another round dunk. We don't wait until the zone collapses to find out. We know that XMF take the MVP. We crucially know that it's a team that wasn't MVP eligible. The day continues, and that is a huge sigh of relief for all of the top 5 teams, because my goodness, was it a struggle to get off the start for every single one of them. KLA, JL, OUG.Xx, and JL, who are off towards ruins to pick themselves up those Firefly cages through those portals. It is going to be an absolute explosive start as JGG and HD could potentially kick off, already having found loot. And there it is. The first kill comes from KLA. Taki goes down to the dual blades. And we're going to see Tutik trying to come on through on this Takeda. Guess manages to find the Mythic grab, will be able to take them down. And as a result, we head inside so these players can look to potentially find armor resets. Tutik needing one of those right now as he's being contested by JL. Manages to find the parry. Unfortunately, will not be able to stick in the area long enough to actually find any advantage off of the back of it, as unfortunately he'd lost 2 of his teammates already, and the Takeda that he was after had got that Kurumi free to be able to facilitate running out all of those focus strike commitments. As now JLA unfortunately going to be stuck in a very rough position. The slaps coming through. XMF getting an incredibly early Zai ultimate, locking down so many of these players. Tumultuous ultimate also coming into play, and they will be able to take the Zai down, who had gone incredibly aggressive with that every full commitment. XMF now looking to try and turn the tides. They've got the Matari ultimate coming through. Jiangdong will recast beyond the circle, as well as Teva up to his Zai, climbing the pillar, getting himself away from the attention of everyone in the area who's fighting on the other side of the room, entirely none the wise to the Kurumi rest that just happened underneath their very noses.
This is insane. So many teams all packed in to this area. There's so many little nooks and crannies in this place as well. The ability to kite around this main building in Plumed is also substantial. You're able to buy a considerable amount of time. Also, the slaps are just crazy. This guy, he's able to buy enough time for his teammates to turn up by slapping multiple people. Also, one thing to note is that XMF XJ Gang just parried a pair of golden dual blades off of a player who's come up from Salvation Podium. KLA, I think it was, who contested Salvation Podium against Hex. Actually were able to come up having gotten those dual blades, but immediately losing them to XJ Gang. XMF doing a really good job already off spawn. Currently the kill leader, XJ Gang, on 3 eliminations. The team are having 5 total, leading the charge alongside HD, who also have 5. But OUG, they're looking for revenge. They're coming in, and they're trying to lock down this remaining member of XMF, who does have those dual blades he definitely wants to keep, but unfortunately not going to be able to do so. Xiao now taken down relatively low by MVP, forced to disengage somewhat. JL also relatively close by. It's just a mess of names on the mini-map. I can hardly tell what's going on.
I mean, the big question is, there's the dual blades. It's MVP's home. He was able to pick them up. I was going to say, I don't think this guy managed to, because he went for the ultimate without swapping to the legendary weapons.
I don't know what happened to them.
Maybe someone grabbed them in just the ensuing mess, because it was just player after player after player.
I think they've just changed hands. The thing is, I'm sure that he had them, maybe he hit into a Takeda with F1 and that's how he got them off him. And because I saw him equip them for sure. There's no doubt in my mind. I don't know. They've changed hands so many times. Who knows at this point?
Oh, I wonder if they knew that the Zai was going to be the target focus, because the Zai like just goes in and dives with the F3, and they ferry it. They do a loot swap so that they pass it over to one of their players that makes away just in the off chance that their Zai goes down and they don't lose those legendary dual blades, which is a pretty smart approach to it. As KLA gonna be waiting to see if they can third party once this Tumult ultimate drops on out. MVP stands in guard over the Soul Altar and looking to punish any of these teams that have to revive with those grey armors. CXE, has he been spotted? Now they go in for that jump. Viper ultimate coming on through into Tessa V1 looking for the full lockdown. Massive CC connecting onto all of these players, but CXE full sense has the F1, will be able to cover up his mistake of getting parried. Does not throw out the Dragon Slayers until now, turns on to LTZ, gets the Nessus connection and throws out the horizontal charge up afterwards. CXE gets another Dragon Slayers into Nessus and unfortunately has to back on off this time as HD show up for the third party. CXE not wanting to be a little bit too involved in that fight, puts himself onto the sideline, swapping that over to the dual blades to start cleaving through as many players as possible. Forbidden Seal now coming into play as well. None of these players able to utilize any of the ultimates at the moment as HD are getting put into the blender. Parry after parry comes on out. CXE again gets to cover up the throat of that focus strike with the F1. And as Wuchen will teleport him away, but they were not able to get the body of that Viper. They had to hit the disengage before the Ken was in position to get ported out. And as a result, they just have to keep running as all of those players in that fight are now looking to figure out where they disengage to.
It's just so back and forth, it's insane. HD was actually the team that had originally died, but one member reses and then reses the rest of the team, and then they get into the fight yet again. But now we're going over to JDG and JL, having an isolated 3 versus 3. JDG looking pretty good, but ZDI takes a lot of damage from this Dragon Slayer 2-tick. Using that F1, is he going to be able to capitalize? I'm not sure if he will, but he's sending out these fan focuses. The CC coming through onto the enemy Takeda. Another Dragon Slayer coming in. The bonk from the spear on top of that 2-tick. Taking a bunch of damage, picks up the Soul Bloom. Is almost up to his ultimate yet again. Getting another kill. The spears are going absolutely crazy right now. And it looks as though JLA are cooked.
That was, what, 5 successful Dragon Slayers? And only one of them was set up by the Tumult Wisp, meaning that they couldn't parry. That is crazy. The understanding of the spacing and timing to have multiple players hit Dragon Slayers at different times and preying off of the fact that when one person was charging up a Dragon Slayers, another one was taking sort of like that frontline position and acting as bait, so that everyone's head turned to look at them and didn't go for the power on Dragon Slayers. Like, there's a reason we don't see Spear in the solo meta, and a huge part of it is credited to the fact that Dragon Slayers is one of the easiest moves to parry in this game if you're expecting it to come on through. In Trios, however, where you have 2 additional teammates and those light staggers where you can lock a player down and not let them have that parry uptime, that's where Spear really shines with that just massive cleave on the golden focus. If you're able to successfully confirm, and it is huge risk, but very, very high reward for that insane reason. And it does look like we're going to see that fight between all of these teams, that back and forth, the seesaw of power, continue to swing, as it's going to be Realm of Yang spawning up, but potentially fights over the entrances to those portals, no one wanting to give that opportunity to a team that could walk away with 3 kills without having to worry about a third party for free. OUG managed to slip their way inside 1. They're going to be facing up against BAODA as XMF versus JL and GG versus JDG.
Indeed, they are grappling to the skies. Zhao going right on in. The Zai, the front line, he's looking to get aggressive. Here it is, the F3 going upwards to try and catch a player out of the sky. Not able to land it, unfortunately. Yeran getting a huge Dragon Slayer, and it's already cooked. It's already over. Rico doesn't ult. Can't get it out. Just 100 to 0. Zhao now trying to salvage the situation with these F3s, trying to peel for his teammate. But Jun is also extremely low. The F3 from the Ferry, no, the V3 from the Ferry dropped down to peel for the team yet again. But it's Yueshan, Feria up against, oh my, okay, it's already over. BAODA. Holy moly, the Dragon Slayer onto that Karumi was so integral to that win for them, able to lock him down, prevent the ultimate from coming through, and considering that the Zai had already used F3, there was no peel available to come through, but now we've got the fight between GG, another Dragon Slayer. It's just a Spear Gaming lobby right now. CJS also getting taken down, and now LXM up against 3 players. 2 of them are extremely low, but it's not going to matter. JDG are going to come out victorious up against this team. Oh,
well, it's not a legendary spear. It's not a legendary spear.
It's legendary.
Oh my goodness. JDG just 2-tick, catching the Dragon Slayers onto the Takeda and then turning it onto the Z-Ping to keep the support staggered, and then using the Fury shoves. XMF JL, but yeah, 2-tick with that Takeda ultimate, getting the Fury shove Saga into another Dragon Slayers, into another Nezas. This feels like this is the most amount of spear we've seen all day combined so far. It feels like everyone has been sitting and just waiting and lulling everyone into a false sense of, we're only going to use Fan. That's the only thing. Fan and Pole Sword. You don't need to have your parry timing for Dragon Slayers. No one's going to use spear here. And every single person in this lobby is hard crutching onto spear as weapon uptime currently. As BAODA and Hex go head to head, Yuran coming in with a very early hardy ultimate, looking to just try and find the disruption. As GG actually going to revive in the area. They scouted the fight and are coming to third party. They do have a very good composition that can lock down these fights. With that Tumult and the Takeda both able to find massive value in terms of CC on the ultimates and F abilities. And here they come. GG waiting in the wings, waiting to see who is going to be the best to third party, wanting those ultimates to be mostly gone before they take the engagement, as XMF riding that high after taking down JL, having all of the loot to just obliterate the players on HD. This is not even close. This is an absolute massacre as XMF just absolutely annihilate 3 players in very, very short fashion.
They do indeed. XMF currently in 2nd place as well, and they are definitely leading the charge in terms of kills this game. 11 eliminations under their belt, but enough of that. We've got JL up against OUG.Xx, a huge parry coming out there. JL need this fight, as do OUG. This is going to be a huge deciding factor for the game if this fight gets committed on. It looks as though they're going to try and space out for the moment. They recognize that the enemy team also is exuding desperation, as they too need that Yang depletion cleanse. We've got very low HPs here. Zhao diving in with the F3, but not finding the connection, unfortunately. But JLVVV is going to find the elimination onto Junks. Junks getting taken down, not resable, as he does have that Yang depletion. Now Rico and Zhao forced to fight an uphill battle, but they're playing Zai in the zone, but they're up against XMF coming in for the third party. XMF looking to try and continue the snowball, the freight train that they are currently with their Vermilion Bird's might, catching these players within the zone, playing to their strengths with that Zai ultimate. The fire damage so impactful in this scenario. This is devastating for OUG, as they are in fact now eliminated. JL still alive. JL's still alive.
Yeah, but they have Yang depletion. They all have Yang depletion, and they have 1 minute. They need to force this fight, and all they can do is turn on XMF, who have 2 legendary weapons and their ultimates. And all JL have is a hardy ultimate, and I hope that maybe that will be enough. But XMF, they don't want to take this fight. They're just kiting away. They've already got double-digit kills. They run directly into KLA. KLA might be the undoing. However, the Kurumi Tether will be able to connect onto the Zai. The F3 is going to carry XJ Gang far enough away that KLA will not be able to find the punishment. Yang Dong does manage to just kite away, taking all of the attention from the other two players. As you pointed out, JL, one of their players goes down to zone, two of their players still having Yang depletion, and unfortunately for them, they might be able to get the rebirth off in time before they go down to Yang depletion, and they will. But unfortunately, I think it's going to be the last thing that our two players can do as KLA take down one player of XMF. The Zai got caught out. Now XMF as Zhao Wen gets caught out by the Tesla V1. KLA found them in the zone and then not letting them go. The Tesla V1, the 3-second enchantment window. There's nothing Zhao Wen can do. KLA ripped through XMF and XMF are reduced to a Kurumi.
Oh, but they get the res, though. They managed to resurrect one of their teammates. It's not over just yet, ladies and gents. Yang Dong, the savior, able to resurrect here. XJ Gang in the zone.
I think they're going back for their Matari as well.
I think they will. It's insane, but we've got a Realm of Yang fight now. GG up against JDG, CJS. That purple armor and the Takeda ultimate online gets the mythic grab there onto Two-Tick. Two-Tick taking a bit of damage, forcing out that ultimate now. It's just a dance between Takedas. Who will use the first Fear and Blast? There it is. They trade blasts now. Two-Tick gets a Dragon Slayer, forces out another blast from GG, but then responds with his own there. Even at the moment is going back and forth. 3-3-0, taking a bit of damage. So is CJS. Two-Tick gets a parry onto CJS, but he does have the Fear and Blast ready to go. He's been silenced, though, I think, and that's why he hasn't been able to use it just yet. There it is. He does send it. ZDI taking a bit of an ISO fight against LXM. Kiki is extremely low HP now. GG looking strong, looking very healthy with those health bars. 3-3-0 taking a bit of damage, but he's buying time for his teammates to take down this Kurumi. And now JDG are falling apart at the seams, and GG are gonna secure the Realm of Yang win for themselves, securing that golden armor and golden weapon.
And unfortunately for JL, they lost their player. They lost the player that they were able to revive. And that is JL out of this lobby. XMF have been able to pick up all three of their teammates, by the way. Which seems absolutely impossible. They're able to get a kill onto Hexa Sachiko as well, taking themselves up to 12. And they're trying to find another lockdown. Taki goes down. XMF were able to keep a fat chunk of their loot. They've managed to keep 2 legendary weapons despite having to revive 2 of their players. Absolutely insane comeback coming through from this team. KLA are going to be kicking themselves for not finishing off XMF, especially given the fact that KLA are reduced to just the lone Wu Chen. XMF are on 14 kills and are match point eligible. There are 16 players left alive in this lobby, and the only team that is potentially going to be close enough in kills to rival XMF currently is GG. At GG, they are able to find a kill. KLA 17S does go down to the team that show up with that White Tiger's prowess. Here comes XMF, however, with the F3 charged R&B on this hub is getting sent out, connecting onto LXM.
Wait, JDG went down in the kill feed.
JDG did indeed go down in the kill feed, but this is the most important fight right now. GG and XMF, who comes out on top? CJS trying to find any form of value with these Fury shoves, kiting the members of XMF far enough away that they potentially get shoved into that zone. He's only got 1 Fury shove left, and he has to use it to peel for his players. Zhao Wen going incredibly well, could potentially go through. CJS and GG's LXM is able to take down XJ Gang, and this is GG turning the table onto XMF. Like me, they're going to be able to knock out the potential MVP candidate and take us to game number 8. Surely it's just a 1 versus 3. Jiang Dong can't do anything. GG knock out one other player from XMF, and we just have the Matari trying to play survival against GG, who put themselves onto double digits. And Zhao Wen, maybe with 48,000 coins, can find a rebirth charm somewhere, anywhere in one of these shops, and find another way, another escape for XMF to return from. He's looking for it. He's gone to the shop. Does this one? Does it have a rebirth charm left? It does!
Oh, one?
It's just the
he
one.
He gets one, but not two.
He gets the one. But who does he bring back? Surely it's got to be the Zai.
Yeah, you would think. Is it really only one?
I think he's looking for another. He has to be so careful. He's only got 2 Vitalia left.
I don't think there's... I think that because it's shared between the shops. So regardless of which shop he goes to, I think he may have...
Could he get it from the Spirit Well, right? He could get one from the Spirit Well.
He could. It is possible.
He's got one back at least, and it was indeed the Zai. There is no way that XMF are able to return from the brink of having one teammate alive, not once, but twice in the same game and walk away with MVP. That would be the craziest Naraka finals we have ever
There's a rebirth charm just sitting there.
Oh no.
If he goes there and finds it.
If he goes there and finds it, but he would have to get past MVP and BAODA to be able to reach it. The problem is BAODA can't pick it up. They don't have a fallen teammate. You can only pick up a rebirth charm if one of your teammates is dead. Otherwise, you would just sit on them in terms of reserves.
That would be insane, though. Imagine if you could stockpile rebirth charms.
Just in case of, you know, a rainy day. Just have a backlog of 3 rebirth charms.
That would be absurd. But you know what else is absurd? This game, this series is just insane. MVP coming in as well, having been sat at bottom place for a little while now, with 7 eliminations, pulling it out of the bag. Oh my good lord. BAODA doing a good job as well. 6 kills at GG on 10 at XMF. Yeah. Do they win it? Thing is, GG could end it all right now. If they get the kills onto BAODA and MVP, and it's definitely winnable. I don't know though. And the thing is, they're really stacked. They could do it. 3 gold armors. But at the end of the day, we've seen 3 gold armors fall.
3 gold armors, a whole chunk of soul jades. Crucially, though, that's a Z-Ping, not a Kurumi.
Yes, true.
That is a Z-Ping, not a Kurumi, and XMF have their Zai back, and that is a Zai with V2 fire tick. I am not putting anything past XMF. If they're able to survive and go toe-to-toe with GG, the odds favor XMF if they can get their Kurumi back, because the Kurumi doesn't even need to have good loot. You just need the Kurumi to hit F3 and tether your Zai. That's all you needed to do. The problem is, are they going to be in a position to try and take a fight before either GG, BAODA, or MVP will feel comfortable trying to take a fight? Especially since XMF are right there and MVP are right there. Did MVP see XMF? They're hiding behind a wall. And MVP, I don't think they saw them. Unfortunately for XMF, that Spirit Well is not where they wanted it to be. That is not near them in the slightest. And it is instead going to be GG and BAODA. GG immediately staking a claim with that Flamer, forcing everyone from BAODA to back off or face the fire tick. And they are going to commit to this. PK is actually heavily committing in with that pole sword. And as a result, both of these players have had to back on off. No one wants to go onto the outside, however, because then it becomes that one-way ton of damage. And it looks like GG have opted to prioritize their ultimates. They allow BAODA to actually take control of that location. It is much clearer and easier for GG to give that one up, given the fact that they have 3 legendary sets of armor at the moment. They do not want their hand to be forced in terms of ultimates, especially since that is a bounty on CJS's head as well. They know that there's going to be teams in the area looking to third party from the frat bar that is formed as XMF playing the long game, waiting, and it is crazy that we are right back to the same situation, almost the exact same position on the map, just a little bit more to the left side than the right side where we were previously, where we had this absolute knife edge of a Holoroth game previous.
Feels like Holoroth is just intense as all hell, whatever we have it right now. And it looks as though XMF have been spotted out now. by these teams. The red bounty on GG, allowing them to know exactly where everybody is within 100 meters. Very smart pickup by GG, knowing that it's effectively just Mystic Might without the defense buff. XMF, though, they're lurking on top of this building. They're trying to portray strength, but MVP, they might have sussed them out. XMF forced to try and go through the Moonbane, grappling through, making it to the high ground, but they're gonna be forced to drop down into the clutches of GG. They've been spotted out, and now XJ Gang does get grappled onto. Xiao Wen goes over to try and peel. For the moment, they're forced to go into the Moonbane, a dangerous task to try and maneuver through this area. It is not easy. He's managing to crouch multiple musket shots, but he can't crouch the Moonbane hit. And now GG are taking the initiative. They're going in. They're going to try and capitalize on it, but they can't prevent the health. Oh, the heal coming out from XJ Gang. They can't stop him from doing it just yet. Looks as though he spots out the armor swap, though. He picks it up. Alleviates some of that pressure.
They're trying to force GG to commit so that someone else comes in for that third party. Like, they keep going between GG and MVP and trying to just entice with that Zai F3 so that BAODA will take the bait and look to third party, and XMF can make off and potentially steal away some of those kills. From the sidelines, GG and BAODA finally facing off. This is exactly what XMF wanted, and no surprises, you do not see them anywhere currently on the screen. There they are, way off in the distance, just waiting, as neither one of these teams really wants to full commit. Everyone knows that the team that goes first is going to be the team that loses, because everyone in the lobby is just going to turn on you. And XJ Gang with that swarm is looking to put pressure on MVP, not letting them hold on to this rooftop. GG also taking a lot of pressure from BAODA's team with both the bow and the cannon shots coming through from the left flank. GG caught right on the low ground, sandwiched in between both MVP and BAODA, and that is going to be GG having to probably make the move first. They've got the legendary sets of armor that paints a huge target on their backs. They've got a composition that is going to only do better in terms of being able to live and have that pressure when the zone collapses. And you can see that they're actually trying to hit those cognacs and obscure the line of sight from the players around them so that some of these ranged projectiles do not connect. And GG have been able to set themselves up for the Spirit World contest. Will they be able to stick their heels into the sand, though? Or do they have to give it up to BAODA yet again? This time they are going to be committing much more heavily in terms of holding that ground. CJS with that fan creating all of the spacing necessary for his team. The Tumultuous ultimate also going to be invested, as well as the Takeda ultimate. GG going all out to guarantee that they pick up everything that they need, and BAODA as a result are forced to back off.
They are indeed able to expend those ultimates, as they know that once they get that Spirit Well, they're going to get all of their ultimates charged back on up by having that buff given to them. XMF split up now. Xiao Wen and XJ Gang not together, but it looks as though Xiao Wen's going to make his way over there. Oh, but BAODA's Jing all of a sudden just gets obliterated off screen.
Temmie Wisp. He got stuck in the Temmie Wisp and his players weren't able to peel him.
LXM able to find a huge pickup for his team, but are they going to be able to translate this into the victory? There it is, another huge Wisp. But unfortunately, they don't manage to get the kill themselves. BAODA's peak is going to be the one to eliminate Xiao Wen from XMF. And it looks as though XMF is already down for the count. They're fully eliminated. And now this is GG's game to win. The parry comes through. The Furin Blast to mitigate the damage. Shin Yun goes sky high with that F1 on the Tumulk. Hong stuck in a corner, trying his best to climb up these rocks. But the buttery rocks, they're extremely hard to traverse. Hong now stuck in a really bad place. Xin Yun doing his best, sending out that cavalry bloom, trying to peel for his teammates just so they can heal back up just a tiny bit. But BAODA, 2-man strong, sitting atop the rock formation. They're waiting for these players to push into them. LTZ forced to go down into the rocks to try and buy himself some more time. Yeran does have ultimate available. BAODA's peak, using that Yueshan ult to buy some time, but GG still very healthy. CJS gonna have ultimate back up very soon, and now LTZ is taken down by BAODA, but GG still going strong. Yeran and Peak, now 2-man strong. MVP Hong manages to make it out alive, sitting on top of this roof. They need to try and prevent GG from coming away with this win. MVP, this, I mean, they have no chance of getting the dub just yet, I don't think, as they have only 8 points, as that's not going to be enough to match the 12 kills from the side of GG. GG still so healthy. Oh, but the huge Hardy ult coming in, forcing Hong into the zone, but LXM is going to pick up the kill, and now BAODA, 1 man standing. That is it. GG. Oh my goodness.
GG will win.
No words left. GG, come out, your Koi Cup champ.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we have 2024 KOI Cup first champion. Let's congratulations to Chengdu GG.
真的是你们的